Pegasus Sports Network is presenting Oldham County football. Tonight, the Eagles are on the road to Middletown, Kentucky for a big district tilt against the Eagles of Eastern High School. Tonight's game is brought to you by Mountjoy, Chilton & Medley, the largest locally owned CPA firm in North Central Kentucky. By www.buyhappyfeet.com. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows. By Baptist Health, LaGrange, bringing quality health care close to you. And by Daleco Incorporated in Crestwood. Give them a call today at 445-3100. Whether you're a landowner with that big yard to mow or a business that needs to have its front porch looking good, Daleco can help you. Now let's go to the press box high above Eastern Stadium in Middletown, Kentucky for Oldham County football on the Pegasus Sports Network. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Middletown, Kentucky. Along with Scott Jaggers and Tom Hoffman, I'm Mike Montgomery. Glad to have you here with us on the Pegasus Sports Network as the Oldham County Colonels move on deeper into the district season as they move into their second district playoff game of the year. Tonight, a team that the Colonels have known very well, a team that they've played many, many times over the years, the Eastern Eagles. And guys, this has at times been a very, very good rivalry, but as we come in here tonight, this is a rivalry that has been owned by the Eagles much of the last 6 or 7 years.
Well, and obviously that's something Eastern wants to look at here tonight as a home game. They want to keep that streak going that they have here in the late 2000s, and obviously a big game between the two teams because this is kind of determines that postseason matchup and who they're going to play and where they're going to play and all of that. So obviously a big game here tonight between the two teams.
And we do want to introduce tonight our special guest announcer who's here with us, Tom Hoffman. And Tom is a referee, college, high school referee. And unfortunately, Tom, you're a little out of action right now. You and a guy from the University of Louisville named Michael Dyer had kind of a close encounter over on the sidelines back during the Wake Forest game.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, it was. I worked the sideline on U of L sideline. Unfortunately, it was a play coming out of bounds, and I didn't move quite quick enough, so he hit me head on and snapped my tibia. So now I'm taking it easy up in the booth with you guys tonight.
We do understand you may be back in action, though, pretty soon, though. If the doctor says the right words, you might be back for that big game at the end of the football season.
I think like November 29th against that blue and white team. Not Oldham County, but, yeah, same uniforms with a little K on the side of their helmet.
UK and U of L. Oldham County, though, now that we're here to follow the Colonels here tonight, Oldham County and Eastern, guys, these are teams that have fallen on kind of rough times this year compared to what they have had. Both these two teams have had a lot of success over the last decade or so, but both teams in a rebuilding mode here this year. Oldham County comes in here 1-6, Eastern 2-5. Both teams lost their first district game last week, and most people pretty much think this is the battle for third place tonight. How important is it for these two teams to get that win and win third place as opposed to, say, going into the playoffs as the fourth place team?
Well, this is one of the teams that they circled on their calendars, maybe a few games ago, because over the season you could see that both of these teams are in a rebuilding year, like you just said, and so they look ahead a little bit and they see, hey, Eastern is a game for Oldham County. Eastern is a game that we should be able to win, or we can win. And on the other side of things, Eastern looking at the schedule and thinking, okay, Oldham County is a game that we can win or should be able to win. So obviously going in as a third place team means you don't have to play that number one team in the district, and I think that's going to be huge this year.
And of course, neither team yet conceding anything. Both these two teams realize that if they win this week and win next week, then they go into the playoffs and they play their first game at home, probably as the second-place team in the district, but, not conceding anything. And in some ways, Oldham County kind of holds a slim chance here of even winning the district. Keep in mind they play Ballard next week. If they were to win tonight and win next week, there is the possibility the tiebreaker could go their way. But don't want to get ahead of ourselves. First off, let's take a look at last week for the Colonels. Went down to Fern Creek to open district play. A tough night on the road for the Colonels as they lose 27-0 to the Tigers. By all accounts, a pretty decent game by the defense. The problem, fellas, and we've seen this before, the defense just spent way too much time on the field.
Well, Mike, this is an offense that struggles at times. They have struggled a lot of the games this year, and it was no different last night, unable to put any points up on the board. Really only one game this year they've really got things going. That was a couple of games ago against North Bullitt where they put up 55 points on the board. But, you know, if they can get that offense rolling, it's key. It's key for them. Turnovers is really key.
And of course tonight, as you said there, you know, turnovers will be key. You know, these two teams may not be having great seasons right now, but probably pretty evenly matched tonight. This may be one of the most evenly matched games in the county here tonight. Now, last week you talked about the offense struggling. Now I have this is not official, but I'm told anecdotally that at halftime last week the Colonels with just one offensive yard, and that's kind of hard to work from. You know, your defense. It doesn't take a lot of math to realize the defense is on the field a lot. But this is a team that, when they do get rolling, can really hurt you through the air. And James Harding has had some really good nights passing the ball this year. The problem has been the running game, trying to find a way to get some yards to take a little bit of the pressure off the QB.
Well, let's go back to the 1 yard that you talked about. You know, high school is one of those quirky little formulas for yardage that you don't see at the other levels where, you know, if a quarterback is sacked, that's going to count against the rushing record and that type thing. So those numbers can be a little bit misleading at this level. But you're right, Harding has had some games this year where he can put the ball where it needs to be. His receivers at times have not helped him out, but I mean, when you put 55 points up on the board, I don't care who you're playing, that tells me that offense is in there somewhere. You just have to kind of put it all together. Yeah,
and one of the things that last week caused the Colonels to struggle on offense had to do with the speed of the Fern Creek blitz. You know, I don't care who you are. You can be Joe Montana. You can be a Pee Wee League quarterback. You're not going to pass the ball too well if your quarterback is spending most of his time running for his life or laying on his back.
Well, yeah, one thing you don't want to see on your quarterback is grass stains on the back of his jersey. That is never a good sign. And if you've got speed coming off of both sides, and you know, Fern Creek is a team that we've seen that from over the years. They put a lot of speed out there almost every year, it seems like. It does. It makes it difficult you have to run some kind of offense to get it out of the quarterback's hand quickly, and even at times that's very difficult.
So for Oldham County, on a 2-game losing streak coming in here after losing to Bullitt East and Fern Creek, this will wrap up this 3. Well, it's not. I take it back. I'm sorry. I started to say it was a 3-game road trip, but the Colonels were home against Bullitt East. This will get rid of a 2-game road streak here tonight before they return home next week against Ballard, and then wrap up the season on the road against J-Town. We're going to take a real quick timeout right now. When we come back, we'll take a look at how these two teams kind of shape up here, and also talk to Tom a little bit about being an official, whether it's in college or in high school. Take a look at the life of an official when they're not breaking their leg here, and find out what they prefer to be doing for a living. We're going to take a timeout. This is the Mountjoy Chilton and Medley pregame show on the Pegasus Sports Network.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like any animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Baptist Health LaGrange is the best experience expecting families can ever conceive of. We offer spacious, comfortable rooms, a dedicated team of nurses from labor to the time you go home, and a helpful maternity website to guide you through all the questions before and after baby's arrival. For more information or to register for free prenatal classes, visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
Hey y'all, I'm Kix Brooks.
I'm Ronnie Dunn.
And we're Brooks.
And Dunn for rad. And I've got a 4-letter word for you. Don't. As in don't drive drunk.
And I got a 3-letter word for you, as in get the keys.
When you see someone who's about to drive under the influence,
get the keys.
Because friends don't let friends drive drunk.
I'm building bridges.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Kentucky High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the KHSAA and the generosity of this station.
That is a short.
And we're back at, with Oldham County at Eastern High School. Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the Oldham County Colonels. We're about 13 and a half minutes away from kickoff. And with me now, of course, Scott Jaggers, but also a special guest announcer, Tom Hoffman. And Tom, you've got normally you're out there on the field at these ball games, not up here in the press box. We're glad to have you here with us tonight, but since we got you up here, let's talk a little bit about, first off, what you do as an official, and also a little bit about the officials out there.
Okay, usually on high school, Friday nights I'm out there, like you said, on the field with my buddies, and I umpire, which is, of course, in the middle of the field, right behind the defense. And basically your responsibility, or my responsibility, is to have the interior linemen and linebackers watching for holding, chop blocks, any of the interior cuts. It's the easy thing to do, and it's easy to get into it. Nice hobby to have. We have a meeting usually around July, second week of July, out at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, and we belong to the KFOA, which is Kentuckiana Football's Officials Association. And all you do is show up for the information meeting, and basically we tell you what it takes to become an official. Class every Wednesday night, and you go from there, but just getting on the field, getting the snaps, that's basically how you learn.
Hey, Tom, a lot of times we talk about up here in the booth some of the signals, and we try not to say too much about the referees. We know it's a tough job, but a lot of times on a play, yeah, too much, yeah. A lot of times on a play, you may see a couple of officials throw a flag on the same play. And in basketball, they kind of teach us that an official should be watching a certain area of the court. Talk about that a little bit with football.
Exactly. Usually on a simple running play, the quarterback, his sole responsibility belongs to the referee, the guy in the white hat. At the time the ball's run, the umpire will turn with the play, and then usually when you see two flags, just like you're talking about, two sets of eyes in the same area, it'll usually be the umpire and one of the outside, either the head linesman or the line judge, are seeing the blocking in front of the play. Once that line, the ball carrier, gets to the line of scrimmage, the referee would turn it over to the sideline guy, and that sideline guy would have him all the way to the end zone, and then the referee would take the responsibility for the blocking, and then the back judge downfield deep would take the blocking in front of the play. So basically you always have somebody watching in front of the play, somebody watching the ball carrier, and then somebody cleaning up after the play to make sure there's no cheap shot.
One of the things that we see a lot, and I guess there's two things that get fans going, other than a play where they think it should have been called the other way. But one of the things that just leaves the fans kind of perplexed a little bit is the flag that's picked up. And of course that's the one thing that you don't usually get an explanation for. If you're watching it on TV and the referee is out there mic'd, he just picks it up and flag is waved off, and fans are left wondering, what is that typically the result of?
One thing we teach, and it's just the opposite of basketball. You're in a tight environment in basketball. When you call a foul, people want an immediate response.
You blow the whistle, you better have a call.
Exactly. In football, we may see something that we thought happened. And a perfect example, let's say on a screen play, a little pop pass behind the line of scrimmage. Well, the umpire's not watching that pass. He's watching the lineman. So now all of a sudden he sees a lineman downfield, and he's thinking, oh, I have an eligible man downfield. So he throws the flag. Well, then we come back, we talk to the outside guy who's on the line of scrimmage, the official on the outside. Hey, was the ball caught behind the line or in front of the line? Makes all the difference in the world. If it's behind the line, you absolutely have nothing. That would be a case where you wave off that flag.
Gotcha. And I guess similarly, tip ball situation where,
right.
A guy's making that kind of a call and in fact the ball was tipped, right?
Right. Because, on eligibilities on the offense, only the eligible receivers can catch a ball unless a defensive player touches the ball, then anybody can catch it, basically. And once it's tipped, it's anybody's ball.
You've done this at the high school level and now at the college level, all the way up at with the big boys, the big D1 schools. Is there a particular job or a level that you enjoy the most? I mean, I'm sure they pay you a little nicer at the college
exactly.
level, but I mean, from just a sheer enjoyment, what's the most fun you've had as an official?
Well, I will tell you, college is definitely, a lot of people think it's harder. Yeah, they're quicker, they're faster, they're stronger, but you also have more officials. So basically in college, instead of me trying to watch 10 players, I'm basically watching 3 on offense and maybe 2 on defense, or maybe 2 defensive linemen and a linebacker. So once you get in college, just like working the outside, they have basically a receiver and the guy guarding him. So it's a lot easier to see the game. You don't have to move as much. You're standing still with your eyes watching. But then Little League, you can never beat it because a lot of preventive officiating goes on in Little League, but just to be out there. And, those kids practice all week long, just like the high schoolers, waiting for that game on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock when most of these high schoolers would be like, no, I'm not getting out of bed till 12, so you can forget it. But, the enjoyment of those little kids and seeing them light up, what an experience.
All right, I got to ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation in a football game where you've been stuck with that coach who just won't stay out of your ear?
Yeah, Mike, that's funny you say that. I had a playoff game. It was about 7 years ago down in Mayfield. It was Mayfield and Murray. And I had a coach the entire first half in my ear. And I kept telling him, Coach, you need to get back, only to find out that it was the brother-in-law of the offensive coordinator. So, of course, I tell the head coach, here's what's happening, So this guy in the minute something left to go in the game comes out and yells at me one more time. And he told me I didn't know explicitly a word there. And I said, Coach, you might be right. I might not know something, but tonight your favorite color, I know it. He goes, yeah? I said, yeah, yellow. And I threw this flag probably 30 yards in the air. So that was kind of vindication on my part. But, yeah, it was nice. But, and I'll be honest with you, Mike, it's just, the main thing the coaches want is an explanation. When they're yelling at you and in your hip pocket, it's because they just want to understand why did you throw it. We're officials, we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. Admit it. Coach, hey, I messed up. That's my fault. But just to explain to them what's going on, what you saw, talk to the kids, tell them what they did wrong. That's all they want, just an explanation.
You asked me before we came back on the air if you could say a few words about the association, and we made a few jokes about me being a referee out there, which that would be kind of funny. But this is an opportunity for a lot of people to get involved if they're really interested in football.
Oh, exactly. Like I said, it's the KFOA. We do have a website, kfoa.com, or I think it's .org now maybe. And you have to understand, we have officials that do every aspect of football. In fact, 4 years ago, I think we had a replay official do the Super Bowl, and his brother was actually on the field at the same time, the McGrath brothers. And the youngest McGrath brother actually did the national championship. I think it was between Alabama and Texas that same year. So we have guys in D1 college. We have guys at Campbellsville and Mid-South, OVC. Literally every part of football that you can imagine, we have people with their hands in it. So, like I said, it's a heck of an occupation. It's a brotherhood basically. We have meetings every Wednesday night, and after the end of the year, we have a pizza party, and we all get together and just have a good time.
All right, one last question here, and this is just for fun. What's the worst weather you've been in as an official?
That's interesting. I will tell you, I don't know. I played football up in northern Kentucky my high school years, and everybody's heard of Highland Heights. They redid their stadium to where they put a middle school across the end of the field except for one corner. So when the wind comes through there, it is just a blizzard. And we were there, it's about 4 or 5 years ago against Montgomery County, and I think it was 20 degrees, but it felt like it was about 20 below zero. So the cold is definitely the worst thing, because just standing there and just freezing, you don't run as much as a player.
That's why I'm up in the booth.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Scott out there. I'm talking about it, and hopefully I can persuade him a little to switch over to the dark side, so to speak.
Tom Hoffman, and we're glad to have you up here in the booth tonight.
Thank you, Mike.
Looking forward to your insight here up in the booth here. Blue on blue here, as you see the two teams warming up out there. Kevin Montgomery, our cameraman tonight, bringing you all the pretty pictures. And we don't have any bad weather tonight. No lightning, no rain, no wind. Last week, poor Kevin was out facing the storm, so to speak, at South Oldham. It's a pretty good night out there, though, tonight. Let's take a look at this Eastern team, guys. They come in here 2-5 on the year. Since 1998, they've pretty much had the advantage in this series, having won 9 of the last 12 games between Oldham County and the Eagles, and they've won 6 straight. But, guys, this is a team that, like Oldham County, is rebuilding, just averaging 194 yards of offense from scrimmage this year. And, like the Colonels, struggling a bit to find some consistency on that side of the ball.
Well, yeah, and, this is a team, again, they put up some points this year. I mean, you go back to the first game of the year against J-Town, they put up 40 points on the board. And when you put up that many points in a game, that means somewhere or another in there's some offense, and you can get into the end zone. Now, obviously, it may come against a little bit weaker competition, but somewhere in there, and it always comes down to turnovers. And you look at some of the numbers for this Eagles team, and, special teams has not been good. Defense has not been good. And, we don't know a ton about them, but it's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see penalty-wise how they are as well, because that tells a story too.
Eastern won last year's matchup at Oldham County 47-39. Oldham County scored the last 15 points of the game to draw close, but couldn't get that final. They actually pulled within 8 with 6 minutes to play, but just couldn't get that extra touchdown. You talk about turnovers, Scott. In a game between two evenly matched teams, often that is the decider. And Eastern struggled in that regard this year, -10 in the turnover department. They have not played a game this year where they have been in the positive on turnovers. Just twice have they been even.
Well, and almost you can look at that one stat alone in each game, and without seeing anything else, any of the box score in the game, you can almost always look at turnovers and see who won or lost that game. Now, obviously, they've been able to pull out a couple this year, even though they're in that negative department, but when you're evenly matched, I think you are coming into the nice game against Oldham County, I think it's going to come down to those turnovers.
Yeah, and that's just who can take advantage of the mistakes, Like I said, we talk about evenly matched. On paper, point-wise, they're both averaging about 16 points, but they're both giving up 37 points. So, yeah, it looks evenly matched tonight, that's for sure.
Defensively, Eastern giving up about 221 yards of rushing a week. Now, that's going to be an interesting comparison here, guys, because that's what Oldham County has struggled the most to do this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Colonels can take advantage of what has been a very porous Eagle run D and get that part of their offense going. Seneca racked up 356 yards on the ground. Ballard last week had 306.
And this may be that game for Oldham County that gets them that confidence. If they can rush against the defense, if they can finally get some yards up on the board and get that mentality, that rushing mentality, that may be the difference for them going forward in the season.
Well, and it would be huge for James Harding, because this young man, I think we've seen, this guy's got a legit arm. He's got strength. He's got accuracy. A lot of his incompletions this year, frankly, have been drops. And the others, a lot of them have been because he's been so hurried because the running game hasn't been there and the defense has been able just to pin their ears back and blitz. So, obviously a great opportunity for Oldham County. Eastern has been outgained in 6 of their 7 games this year in terms of total offense, and they have given up a lot of points. Tom, as you said, they've given up 6 touchdowns 4 times.
Well, I'll tell you one thing too. We talked about the difference between high school and college. That is a big problem with high school. College, you have that more defined pocket for that quarterback to have the time. high school, most of the times, unfortunately, you're on your run, running for your life to try to get out there and make something happen. So maybe tonight, the offensive line can pull it together for Oldham and give them a shot at throwing the ball.
Got the captains getting ready to go out for Oldham County tonight. The captains are Alan Farrow, one of the leading receivers on the team. James Harding, number 9, your quarterback. Brian Barmanji, the middle linebacker, number 16, a senior. And rounding out your captains is Justin Vire, the tight end, who had such a great game against North Bullitt. That was a great story, Scott. I mean, for those who haven't heard it, Justin had not ever scored a touchdown in his entire football career, all the way back to when he was playing in Pee Wee leagues, and 3 touchdown catches against the North Bullitt Eagles. See, it is blue on blue out there.
Yeah, he should have went bowling that night to see if he could get that elusive 300 as well.
He should have bought a lottery ticket that night. That was.
I didn't want to say that. He's
I don't think he's underage.
Oh, Mike, I didn't want to say that.
Go have Mom and Dad buy a lottery ticket for you.
Hey, Mom, my favorite numbers tonight are.
Oldham County, for those of you who are listening to the audio broadcast and don't see the pictures here, Oldham County blue pants, white jerseys, blue numbers. They got their white helmets with the blue interlocking OC. And Oldham County has won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. Eastern wearing all blue uniforms, silver numbers, and a silver helmet. To describe the logo a little bit, it's got a big blue E on it, and right in the middle of the E, if you're familiar with the Philadelphia Eagles eagle head logo, they've got a blue eagle head logo just like that. So Eastern will receive at the south end of the stadium. The sun has dipped below the horizon, so there's no sunlight in anybody's eyes, no wind in their face. It's pretty much a perfect night for high school football. And you've been listening to the Mountjoy Chilton and Medley pregame show right here on the Pegasus Sports Network. We're just about ready to get this game underway.
Mike, talking about the Eastern uniforms, the blue on blue with the silver helmets, we talked a little bit earlier. It looks a little bit like the old throwback jerseys for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. It's a good comparison there. Want to give a big shout out to Spencer Johnson's cousins down in the Troy, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida area. A big shout out to them watching the ball game tonight here on the Pegasus Sports Network. Glad to have you guys with us and looking forward to what could be an exciting ball game. We're going to take a break. This is Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the Oldham County Colonels.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Baptist Health Crestwood on Kentucky 329 is conveniently located approximately 1 mile from I-71. Baptist Health Crestwood offers outpatient physical therapy and diagnostic imaging services, including x-rays, CAT scans, digital mammography, and DXA bone density scanning. The facility also houses the offices of Baptist Medical Associates Crestwood. For more information, visit baptistcrestwood.com.
I'm Leanne Rhymes for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. To some, it's just not country music without hard drinking and fast driving. But real life's not a song, and in less time than it takes to play the latest country hit, someone will be killed or injured in an alcohol-related crash. So next time you're out with someone who's been drinking, don't let them take the wheel. Take the keys instead. That's why friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back. Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the Oldham County Colonels. Tonight's Oldham County versus Eastern. If you've just joined us, I'm Mike Montgomery along with Scott Jaggers and Tom Hoffman, our special guest announcer tonight, who is a official both at the high school and the college ranks. Right now temporarily out of action with a leg injury. Michael Dyer. Just taking you out of the ball game, but I tell you,
guy's a piece of steel.
So this is going to be a little bit different here tonight, Mike. We're actually going to have somebody who knows what's going on.
Wow.
And when we're calling penalties up here, he might actually know.
That's okay. I've got the mute on his mic if he just gets out of hand.
I appreciate it. There you go. Coaches always tell me what I do wrong too, so hey, I'm used to it.
Oldham County, if you just joined us also, did win the toss. They deferred to the second half, so the Colonels will be kicking off here to get this game started. Two teams that look very even on paper. Certainly the records are very similar as Eastern comes in at 2-5, Oldham 1-7. Both teams winless in the district after 1 week of play, looking for a chance to get back on the winning track. Mike Schatzer and Sean Davis are the coaches, both in their first years at their respective schools. And going to have to apologize here early. The folks here at Eastern have always been wonderful to Pegasus, but they forgot to send us a roster. We have a roster off the KHSAA website, but I'm going to tell you something. The KHSAA website is often very notorious for being wrong. So we're going to do the best we can here and hope that we're picking up some of the Eagle names. I think we got the some of the key players down here, but we'll just have to see as we go. Unfortunately, the KHSA website is not in numerical order, which makes it always a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it's in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
If we just knew them by their outlooks of their uniforms, yeah.
David Gonzalez is set to kick it off from right to left here for Oldham County, and this game is underway. Going to kick it over to the left side. Eastern's going to take it at the 8-yard line. Cuts it to the far side of the field. Oldham County is going to let him get through for some good yardage out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. I'm still trying to pick up the...
That was Connor White, number 22.
Was it Connor White? Okay. I could only see the second two, and I couldn't see the first one there.
Now, Mike, that run already a much better start from Eastern than what they had last week. They were only averaging about 11 yards return, kickoff return yards in last week's game, so already a much better start for the Eagles.
Yeah, about a 30-yard return there last week. Nowhere near that against Ballard. So Eastern will go on the attack at quarterback. It'll be number 10, J.D. Berger. Just a sophomore, comes out there, one back in the backfield. That looks like it's going to be number 29, Rashante Johnson. And the give is to the first man through. And not a lot doing there as Oldham County just sat on that play immediately. Barmanji in there for the Colonels, also getting in there. That was McIntosh.
That was Dante Brooks on the carry, number 84.
You got to love high school numbers. 84, that should be a wide receiver, right? Well, he's lined up at a fullback. Well, I tell you, because we don't have a full roster for Eastern, we don't have the sizes, but number 73, the center, that's a good-sized boy. That's a good-sized line out there for this Eastern team. And they give it to Brooks again, trying to plow his way forward. Gets it out over the 45, nose of the football out to about the 46-yard line before Oldham County brings him down there with the tackle. Blake Voiles, the junior defensive end for Oldham County. That'll make it third down.
Yeah, Mike, that was actually Johnson on the carry that time. Number 29.
And, Mike, you talk about 73, that center for Eastern. He's just a sophomore. Big boy.
Yeah, he's got some size. Brendan Sullivan. Just watching him go out over the football. Lines up right across from Ian Fullerton for Oldham County, who's not a small fellow himself. Johnson is the fullback. Is the tailback. Brooks is the fullback. This time they'll send the receiver in motion to the right side. Overloading the right side. Quick receiver screen is complete. First down on the sideline and into Oldham County territory inside the 30 to the 27. They get it out there to number 3, and that is Zachary Kozma.
Mike, that play went because number 5 for Eastern had one heck of a block, a turnout block that broke him down the sideline there. I think it was Justin Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little difficult when they're not in numerical order here.
Yeah.
28 yards on the pickup.
So a big gain, a first down, and the ball is at the 28 of Oldham County. Kozma will go wide to the right side. Green will line up as a wing on the right. First and 10. Give to the first man through, and that's Johnson. He is wrapped up immediately. Ian Fullerton was in there, but I'm trying to see who the first guy was.
Looks like number 45.
It was 45, yes, and that would be Zach Payton coming in from the defensive end spot, and he's the last man up from that pile. Second down, Eagles. Johnson goes out. Brooks goes out now for the Eagles. In the game as a wideout now, we got a number 7. Not really seeing him. We'll have to hunt him up here. 3 wide to the right, 2 to the left. Completion is to the left. And not much there. A great tackle in the open field by Spencer Johnson. And OC will force Eastern into a 3rd and long.
And, Mike, that was Cameron Maddox, the one that caught that ball in the swing out there.
We're just kind of picking these up as we go here.
Mm-hmm.
Maddox wearing number 7.
Hey, and you notice as he came in, Mike didn't know who he was, so they immediately threw him the ball.
Of course. 3rd down and 7 now for the Eagles. 2 wide to the left, 3 to the right. Empty backfield now. Firing, and the pass is caught in traffic and down inside the 15 to about the 11. It'll be a first down, Eagles.
Catch by Kozma.
Yep. His second catch of the ball game, and again, good for a first down, and the Eagles moving it here early on.
Mike, that was just an instance where the Oldham County defender did not turn around to see the ball. He had his back to the quarterback and actually to the line the entire time. In fact, the ball almost hit him in the back of the helmet.
Kozma, the lone wide out to the left side. Eastern sends 3 to the right. 1 back in the backfield. I think that's Johnson, and it is Johnson. Spins away from 1 tackler and then is hit by Barmanji and driven backwards. Not a big gainer here, but right now Oldham County, guys, is playing really well in the first 2 downs and giving it up on the 3rd.
That defensive front, 3 down linemen, they're really filling the holes, making it hard on Eastern to run the ball.
Second down and almost 9. The ball is at the 11-yard line. Eastern can get a first down here without scoring. They'll send Kozma to the right this time. And in the slot is White. From the shotgun. High snap. Pulled down, firing, incomplete. And that time, guys, it really seemed to me that the snap is what messed Berger up. The snap, he had to reach way over his head. Oldham County with a little bit of pressure, and he just got rid of it in a hurry and threw wide right.
Yeah, certainly threw the timing on the playoff, but the receiver, again, was wide open on the left side. If he hits him in the hands, he could be taking that one to the end zone.
Well, again, Oldham County forcing the Eagles into 3rd and long. It's almost 3rd and 9 now from the 11-yard line of the Colonels. Kozma wide to the left. In the slot is White. 2 wide to the right side, including number 5, Green. He's the wide out to that side. Berger in the shotgun. He's got Johnson standing to his left. Has the ball. High snap through his hands. Going back, tracks it down. Oldham County's going to cover him up at the 23-yard line. And the Eagles not only are going to find themselves unable to convert on the 3rd down, but now they may be out of field goal range. That would be a 40-yard field goal from this point. Not really sure what kind of kicker the Eagles have, but we're probably going to get an indication of that based upon what they choose to do here.
Yeah, big loss, 15.
It definitely looks like number 3's coming in with a T and going to attempt the field goal, it looks like.
Yeah, sure looks like it. So it looks like Cosma is going to try the field goal. The holder is going to be J.D. Berger.
Could be an opportune time for a fake.
Ball's down the 31-yard line, and it's going to be well short. Field goal is no good. If it was a 41-yard attempt, no good. And with 6:24 to go here in the first period, the score remains no score. Guys, should we talk about our predictions now? We got some predictions. I mean, I know it's kind of cheap to say it at 6 minutes into the ball game, but Kevin, our cameraman, picking Oldham County 37-30 tonight. I'll go ahead and give you my prediction. I'm going with Oldham County. I think Eastern's going to have trouble stopping the Colonels. I think at the end of the night, it's going to be the return game that's going to help Oldham County. I think the Colonels' special teams lead the way in a 42-37 win. What about you, Tom?
I was saying, unfortunately, I'm the oddball here tonight. I'm saying Eastern 23-14.
And Scott?
Yeah, I think 27-21 was my final prediction. Oldham County with the win.
So two picking a high-scoring affair, two a little more pedestrian in the scoring. Oldham County on the attack. It's Parker Hennings breaking to the left side. 20, 27, and a good gain on first down for Oldham County, a gain of about 7. And Parker Hennings gets the Colonels in good position for this second down play. Well, that has been the challenge for Oldham County all year, guys, has been having to face long situations on second and third down, but it's going to be, they're going to give him about 8 here. Be about 2nd and 2.
Late substitution for Eastern on the line.
2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. That's Carson Axtell. Harding from the shotgun for the Colonels. Retreats, fires. He's got a man! Complete! That's, as he gets it out over to the 40 to the 45-yard line, that's Alan Farrow. And a nice pickup on second down as the Colonels go to the air on second and short and pick up 18.
So the line for Oldham County, nice block in that time, kept the pocket around him, and he had plenty of time to throw it.
Well, and that's one thing we've talked about this team. You mentioned the quarterback and his arm. Harding certainly has the arm, as he showed you right there, as long as he has the time. Many times we've wondered why they don't bring another back in there and get a little bit extra protection, some extra time for him, but a good job by the line on that play.
Vire and Farrow wide to the left side. They'll hand off to Hennings, straight ahead into the line, drags a couple of tacklers and takes a play that really didn't look like it was going to be much and turns it into 3+ yards.
Yeah, a little bit of over pursuit that time on the line by Brandon Lusko for Eastern, as he got a little bit too deep in the backfield and overran the play.
Harding coming over to the sideline to get the play from Coach Mike Schatzer. Parker Hennings will come out, take a quick breather here. He's got 11 yards on his first 2 carries of the ball game. Harding joined in the backfield right now by the fullback, Jacob Yall. Standing to his left as Harding sends 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right side from the shotgun. 2nd and 7, Harding has it, gives it to Yall, straight ahead, and fights his way out to the midfield stripe for a pickup of 2.
Looked like he was going to be able to change directions, get back to the middle, but at the last minute, an arm tackle held him up for a short gain.
You know, guys, as we look at this, the two teams, especially in the trenches, Eastern definitely the bigger squad there. We don't have weights for Eastern, but this is pretty visible to the naked eye. But Oldham County taking it right at them between the tackles. Harding looking at a possible blitz from Eastern here. Here they come. Throws, fires, and too tall, trying to get it over to Axtell on a slant from the left side. Pass will fall incomplete. Axtell has been kind of the big play receiver for Oldham County this year. But the Colonels now on 4th down are going to have to punt this one away on 4th and 5. Wasn't a bad call considering the defense, fellows. It just...
Yeah, Yeah,
Put it a little too tall.
Yeah, he just overthrew him a little bit, and part of that was because the pressure and the arms up that he was getting in the backfield. He had to throw it over those defenders. Ended up being a little too tall for his receiver.
Farrow with the punt, going to hit at the 20, takes an Oldham County bounce to the 10, still rolling, and Oldham County, VR will down it at the 9-yard line, so that's where Eastern will start, 1st and 10. No score in the ball game. Both teams have moved the ball a little bit. Eastern missed a field goal. They'll be coming up here with their second possession of the ball game with 3:29 left here, first period.
Punt looked like the old pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Check up.
You know, your golf game's a little better than mine. That looked more like my drive off the tee, off to the left.
And only, what, about 40 yards?
And they got about 40 yards. That's about it. Eagles moved the ball well last time. See what they do with this one, though, starting at their own 9-yard line. Berger lines up in the shotgun. Looks like Johnson to his right. Calls for the ball, and the officials are going to stop play here. Flag on the far side of the field. Could it have been too much time here?
No, that would too much time would come from the back judge. You're probably going to have a false start, or maybe somebody lined up off sides, it looks like. John Dawson's a referee.
Oh, the flag did come from the side, didn't it? Yep.
Yeah, we got actually encroachment. It was offsides. The guy for Eastern lined up too far in the neutral zone.
Well, there's one you don't see at higher levels. Nope.
No, I think we usually, if we see that, it's usually the defense lining up in the neutral zone more than we see the offense. That'll move them back to about the 4-yard line. Great opportunity for the Oldham defense here now, guys. See if they cut the Colonels loose here and try to go after this, or just try to play field position here and contain.
You know, Mike, I will tell you that is one thing. That's a lack of communication on the players for Eastern. When they come out to line up, that's one thing as official we tell them, hey, let me know if you're on or off. We'll line you up. So obviously there was no communication from the athlete there.
3 wide left, 1 to the right for the Eagles. Again, from the shotgun, Berger has it. Hands it off. Johnson off the left tackle, and he's going to plow forward for some decent yardage out somewhere around the 10-yard line as he gets about 6. Mark Reynolds in there for OC to make the tackle.
Yeah, Mike, a little bit of a dangerous position, like you said, for the Eagles. They've worked out a shotgun for most of the game, and a couple of those snaps have been high. You saw the one fumble already, or over the quarterback's head already, so got to be careful this deep in.
Back to pass. Berger has time. Now flushed out of the pocket, is going to throw the ball away, and that was one of those plays where he just chucked it about 20 feet over the head of Cosma, but Cosma was over in the vicinity, so definitely not a grounding situation, but good pressure there by the Colonels, and now it's going to be 3rd down and about 7.
Initially it looked like Berger might get out of that rush, but a handful of jersey held him back, and he was lucky to get as much as he did on that throw.
Big opportunity for the Colonels now. They don't want to do what they did that first drive here. Have great first down, great second down, and give up a boatload of yards on the 3rd down. They want to bottle them up here. This is a great chance to win the field position battle. Eastern needs to get to about the 19-yard line for the first from the shotgun. Berger catches it, fires left side, and spinning out. He's got the first down and more. I think that's White.
Yeah, that's Connor White, number 22.
Gets it all the way to the 25-yard line, and Eastern moves the chains. And, nothing elaborate about that play, guys. It was just a little wide receiver screen to the left side, and then he let his receiver do the work. Senior night here at Eastern High School. Honored their seniors before the game. Little confusion there as the Eagles come out of the huddle. Looks like Green will split wide to the right. Got 2 other Eagles over there in the slot. 1 to the left. High snap. Berger brings it down, hands it off, and straight ahead. Not a whole heck of a lot of yardage there. Oldham County, good job breaking that one down. Isaiah Kelly coming up from his linebacker spot. And the gain just a couple out to the 31-yard line. They'll give him a total of 4. Actually, after they got it spotted there, a few more yards than I thought they had.
Johnson, the leading carry for this team last week, 66 yards on 16 carries.
For those of you listening to the audio broadcast, kind of one of the shorter guys in the field, and now everybody moving for the Eagles, and this one's not going to be one of the toughest calls of the night for the officiating crew.
False start on the whole offense.
Exactly. I think the center's about the only one that didn't move on that play.
Well, the one of the wide receivers down on this end took about 5 steps into the defensive side of the ball there.
I almost thought I was watching Arena League there for a second, getting the running start.
Yeah.
Motion towards the line, yep.
That's a rule in Arena League I love. That's
I
just absolutely
I think they should
blast.
let them all do it, not just one.
Talk about quick pace, though.
I think they should teach that in Pee Wee. From the shotgun, empty backfield, Berger has the ball, has time, fires over the head of his receiver. No, he caught it.
He was actually tipped, and the other...
It was tipped right into the hands of Maddox.
They're going to call it incomplete. He must have been out of bounds.
Yeah.
It was on the far side of the field. I tell you, I lost the ball in the darkness over there as it went over the first receiver's head, and then all of a sudden realized Maddox was running downfield.
Yeah, that's typically a miscommunication if you have 2 receivers that close in an area there where he's close enough that if it's tipped, it comes right to him.
Yeah, I don't think that's an offensive play that most people design to tip it to the guy. You know.
3rd down now, 10 for the Eagles. Oldham County, another chance here to shut this down. 3 wide to the right, 2 to the left. Berger all alone in the shotgun. Long count, calls for the ball, has it. Looks, in trouble, flush to his right, rolling, fires, and incomplete. Couldn't hang on to it on the sideline. Mark Reynolds over there to apply the late pressure. And the receiver, I'm trying to see, that was number 4, wasn't it?
Jason Glover.
Jason Glover?
Mm-hmm.
Glover.
Or
Glover. I think it's Glover, maybe.
Glover, something like
Something like that,
like
yeah.
Danny Glover.
There you go.
That's not Danny Glover.
Jason Glover on the incompletion there. Actually had a chance at it, but again, Mark Reynolds with good closing. As it's run into the end zone, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, Mike, he actually, it looks like the Oldham County player touched the ball, which is actually a muff punt, so Eastern would actually take possession of the ball. They just cannot advance a muff punt.
Well, he actually just said Oldham County
But he pointed Oldham County's way.
See, first he pointed Eastern's way, so yeah, we'll see what he's got here. But okay, they're saying, yeah, he did not touch the ball. Yeah. So once Eastern touched the ball, he actually downed it right there.
I'm going to watch this one on replay for a second, so if you could...
You want to... well, yeah, it'll pop up here. Our replay that we're seeing here in the booth actually runs about 30 to 40 seconds afterwards. And, yeah, it's already run. It's already run. We've already missed it. Yeah, I'd like to see it again, too.
Yeah, because he threw up his hands like I didn't touch it. So,
which is typically a sign that he did.
Yeah, right. Mark Reynolds did a smart job of acting. If he knew that he touched it and knew he wasn't going to get a hold of it, he did a good job. Oldham on the attack now from their own 19. Harding rolling to his right, looks downfield, fires, has his man. That's Trey Tucker. Breaks out of the clear at the 50. Trey Tucker is going to go all the way. There's a flag, though, behind him. Nice. As Tucker runs into the end zone, we're going to have an illegal block against Oldham County.
And it was an unnecessary block because they were not going to catch him.
Yeah, he was already past the block, so.
Well, great catch and run.
It's going to wipe off an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he caught that in traffic, and to break out of that in the run was fantastic.
Again, another great pass by Harding. But the receiver certainly using his speed. Again, an unnecessary block as he was already well past where that block came in. you hate to tell the other receivers to kind of give up on the play, that don't block, but you have to be smart about it as well.
Yeah, and that block was in a situation. It'll bring it back to the 40 of Oldham County. So it ends up being about a 21-yard gain there. Colonels still get the first down, but points come off the board. Boy, that'll make your coaches old real quick. Harding from the shotgun now has 2 wide both ways. Hands off to his back, into the line and leaning forward for about 3 yards, showing some good leg drive there. I'm trying to see who's the one getting up out from under that. Was that was 24? That was Spencer Johnson. Spencer's only had a few carries for Oldham County this year, but he gets one there and some hard-earned yards. You got to love it when the ball carrier is pushing forward, and that is going to be the final play of the first period. At the end of 1, no score here in Middletown, Kentucky. Eastern and Oldham County all tied at 0. We'll be back right after this. This is the Pegasus Sports Network.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
Back at Eastern High School in Middletown, Kentucky, along with Tom Hoffman and Scott Jaggers, I'm Mike Montgomery. No score here in Middletown, but Oldham County, their second drive of the ball game, and the Colonels have the ball at just past midfield now, looking at second down at about 3.
Mike, going back and looking at our predictions for the game, did you want to change your scoring?
It's going to be a big second, third, and fourth quarters, guys.
Right.
I'm holding with it. 42-37, Oldham County.
All right. Pretty good defensive quarter for both of those, both teams there in the first.
Yeah, it really was. But Oldham County had that one touchdown pulled off the board there. I think there's going to be more. And there's a pass. Tucker has it at the 48-yard line there. That gets it across midfield.
And again, Harding showing the accuracy that he has. That one right on the money for the sideline catch.
Tucker's second catch of the ball game.
Mike, you talked about the touchdown coming off the board. Also, the missed field goal there for Eastern. So both teams missing out on scoring opportunities in the first.
Harding in the shotgun here. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Hands off to his tailback and fighting forward inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Johnson getting another carry for the Colonels. Picks up about 4. It'll be second down and 6. Going to try to get some scores from around Oldham County for you as we can, working with, of course, Brad Stevens of the Oldham era, who keeps us on track with some of the other scores. Big games going on tonight. Iroquois and Christian Academy and DeSales. Christian Academy and DeSales getting set to match up. That'll be a big one. Pass up ahead. Great catch by Alan Farrow. Goes to his knees at the 33-yard line, and the Colonels have moved the chains.
And you mentioned DeSales and Christian Academy. Both of those teams still undefeated. So that will be a dandy.
Yeah, that'll be a big game.
Mike, you talked about other scores. Oldham County trailing with 9.5 minutes remaining before halftime, 6-3 to Scott.
You mean South Oldham?
South Oldham, yes.
We seem to have a problem with that tonight.
We do.
Our broadcast here, actually, our producer gets a little confused at times. It says South Oldham versus Eastern, And, of course, it's Oldham County versus Eastern. Harding, hands off. Oh, Eastern's all over this one, and absolutely nowhere to go for Spencer that time as he got the ball, and it was introduction to just about the entire front line of the Eastern Eagles. There'll be a loss on the play back to about the 38-yard line, a loss of 4.
One of the other big games going on tonight, Trinity and Male. Trinity currently leading that one 7-6.
Keep you involved in some of those other scores as the night goes on. Second down and long. Harding back to throw. Straight drop. Fires deep. Has a man and overthrows him. It'll be picked off at the 9. Colonel's going to knock him down cold there, but it's going to be the first turnover of the ball game as Harding just overthrew his man.
Yeah, Mike, this is what we talked about. Turnovers could be big. So it all depends on what Eastern can do now. Can they take advantage of that INT?
They've kind of started deep in their own territory each time and really hasn't had a chance to get the ball moving. So defense on Oldham County has been playing them tough.
Franklin County leading Anderson County by a score of 7-0. Still trying to get a score on that DeSales. They just started. Here we go. Christian Academy leading DeSales at the end of the first quarter by a score of 7-0.
First and 10, Eastern, and they'll start this drive just inside their own 20-yard line now. Berger goes under center this time. Eye backfield behind him. Brooks is the fullback. Johnson the tailback, and they'll give it to Johnson. Second man through, fighting his way forward and gets good yardage out over the 20 before being gang tackled. Spencer Johnson in there. McIntosh, Barmanji pretty much pick a jersey for Oldham County. But a good gain as he gets it out all the way to the 26-yard line, and it'll be second down and 2.
Johnson leading the way for rushing after the first quarter for the Eagles, 16 yards on 5 carries.
Berger again under center now. He's got Green on one wing, gives it to his tailback, and again that's Johnson, and he is driven back. Absolutely driven back. A great charge by Oldham County, led by number 45, Zach Payton. And he's going to be shy of the first down. Really didn't get much of any kind of forward progress. Well, they're going to give him just a little bit. So it's going to be third and about a yard here as Eastern gains 1 officially on that carry. Colonel's seen another drive like that one defensively here. Get this ball back in good field position. Eastern with that big offensive line out there. And the give is to the big back, Johnson. And he's going to be out there, should have the first down. Looks like he's got it to about the 30-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. Both teams have moved the chains some tonight, but not enough to put any points on the board. Of course, Oldham County had the touchdown, the 81-yard touchdown catch by Trey Tucker. That catch nullified by a block in the back penalty. Cosma wide to the right side. Berger going to go back under center. He ran from the shotgun much of the first quarter. Has the ball, screens it to the right side to Cosma. Cosma trying to run down the sideline, is knocked out of bounds by Carson Axtell.
Those passes are dangerously close to being backwards passes.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he catches it, it's okay, but that could be disastrous.
It'll be second down and short. Eagles need about 3 here. This time Cosma to the left side. Green on the wing on the right, and the handoff into the line. It's going to be just shy of the first down as the Eagles crash out to about the 39-yard line. Oldham County has given up the real estate very grudgingly tonight.
tell you what, the team in front, that's just for high school football, 3 guys to handle the line of scrimmage. They are definitely dominating the line of scrimmage tonight. Especially with Eastern size, yeah.
Well, and you got to give a lot of credit to OC's linebacking core right now. They are just flat filling the holes in a hurry. 3rd down, about 1.5 yards. Eastern needs to get to the 40. Berger under center, gives to the first man through. That's Brooks, and it looks like he should have enough for the first down, but I tell you, not by much. And that will move the chains. First down, Eagles, their 5th first down of the ball game. Gets it just over their own 40. They'll mark it at the 41-yard line of Eastern High School. 6:56 to play here in a scoreless first half. Now, in 6 more minutes, I may be reconsidering my prediction. Colonels playing close to that line there. They screen it right side, very nearly intercepted by Vire. Pass is complete and driven out to about the 46 or 7-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Eastern went to the far side. I'm not really sure who caught that ball.
It was Cosma.
Was it Cosma? It'll be 2nd down for Eastern. A gain of about 4. They'll spot the ball just barely over the 45 at about the 45.5-yard line. Eastern needing to get just across the midfield to the Oldham County 49. So 2nd down and 6. Cosma goes wide to the right side this time. Eagles with Johnson standing directly behind Berger. Brooks to his right, and now Eastern, a little bit of confusion out there. The Eagles will take a timeout. 6:31 to go here in the first half. No score here in Middletown. Guys, surprised?
No.
I told you, low score. Closest without going over, so right now I'm in the running.
Right now, I tell you something. Right now, Tom, you're looking real good here.
Yeah, Tom, I mean, Mike, I am a little bit surprised. I mean, I thought these two teams I thought defensively they may give something up, but Oldham County this year has not played terrible defensively, and they're playing pretty well here again tonight. So I guess it could have went either way. You went on the high side, we went on the low side, and looks like we may know football a little bit better than you.
Game ain't over yet.
That's right. Defense is going to wear each other out, right, Mike? You're going to have that high scoring second half.
That's it, man. I'm going on the I'm betting on the high.
Yeah, Tom, I think you brought up an excellent point, though. I mean, the defensive line of Oldham County has played about as well as I think they could play tonight.
Do have a score in the Male Trinity game. A couple of field goals in Male, up 6-0 in this ball game.
No, Trinity's up 7-6, Mike.
Oh, you got an update?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's another big game is the St. X. I think St. X playing Manual at St. X tonight.
Berger from the shotgun as we come back to action here. And he hands off. Johnson fumbles it, but he's going to fall on the ball there. Oldham County had 3 white shirts around it, but none of them could get to it quite as quickly as he did as he just falls forward. Actually ends up gaining about 1 yard out to the 47-yard line. Well, now they're going to spot him back at the 46. I'm not sure if Eastern might have lost 1 yard on that one.
The only positive there, Mike, that's the first fumble they've recovered all year.
Really?
Yeah. They've lost 10 fumbles. Every one of them's been a loss. That's the first one they've actually fumbled and gone back.
3rd down and 5 for Eastern. The ball just shy of their own 47-yard line. Got to get it just into Oldham County territory for the first down. Here comes the rush, and the pass incomplete as he led his receivers trying to get it out there to White and just led him a little bit too much. And you got to give Oldham County, Isaiah Kelly was putting on a bull rush from the outside that time. Berger just had to get rid of the ball.
Tom, you talked a little bit about St. X and Manual. St. X leading that game 15-0 after the first.
So Eastern set to punt this one away. Oldham County's Alan Farrell standing on his own 10-yard line. High snap. They get it back there and boot it away. And again, a good high punt for the Eagles. It's going to hit at about the 15. Takes an Oldham County bounce. The Eagles will cover it at about the 16-yard line, and that's where James Harding and company will come back onto the field to go into operation. You know, one of the things that's helping Oldham County tonight, guys, and there's just no way of overstating this, is the fact they're starting to get some guys back. Jonathan Queenan, big number 75 back there at the left tackle. He is the biggest guy on this Oldham County team, and awfully hard to move in the offensive line. Playing with a hurt shoulder. He's going to have surgery on it, but they said he can play with it. Of course, Carson Axtell, number 17, he's maybe the best deep threat they've got in this receiving corps, and has had several deep touchdown passes.
Well, if you're going to start getting guys back, this is the time of year you want to get them when you go into district play and put your best team out on the field and see what you can do.
Axtell is wide to the right now. Handoff in the backfield, and getting some room to run is Parker Hennings. Hennings out to the 29-yard line, and a gain of about 14 on the first down play.
Mikey, I think you mentioned earlier Oldham County has really gone up the middle most every running play tonight. You've only seen them go outside. Really, the first one I can remember since the very first play of the game where they went outside on one, but everything else has started out right up the gut.
Byer and Farrow wide to the right side. Looks like one wide to the far side of the field. Harding in the shotgun. Hands off to his tailback. Again, that's Hennings into the line and wrapped up as he gets out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Getting in there to make the stop for Eastern was number 18, William Leake. Going to give him about 3, almost 4 on the carry. Second down, a long 6, short 7. Glass is half empty, glass is half full. Harding in the shotgun. He's got a running back on both sides here to protect. Rolls to his right, throws, and just off the fingertips of Justin Byer. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Eastern had a guy over there in coverage. He probably wasn't going to gain much more than a yard.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've noticed all year with Harding. He is great if he can take a straight 5-step drop and get his feet set, step into his throw. When you protect him in the pocket, he's got a tremendous arm. When you get him on the move like that, not so much. He still has the strength, but his accuracy is not always there.
Well, and I think that's true about every high school quarterback. There just aren't too many Fran Tarkenens out there at the high school level.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Scott's showing his age, not us, Mike.
Yeah. Harding back to throw. Looks, has time, throws, and wide right. Actually missed 2 receivers there. Underneath, he had a man, and that was Trey Tucker. Deeper was Farrow, and they were both kind of in line, but the ball skittered past both of them there. Farrow had a pretty good shot at it out near the 47, but it'll fall incomplete, and Oldham County will have to punt this one away.
Well, one thing Eastern was able to do there was turn the field position a little bit. Really not going to lose all that much from where they had to give up the ball. So Oldham County losing a little bit here. Just about 4 minutes left before half. They're going to have to make a pretty strong defensive stand.
Yeah, Farrell needs to get a really good punt here. This needs to be one where he gets a good roll here. Gets it away. Line drive is going to kick it over the return man, and they're going to have to watch it roll. It'll take an Oldham County roll inside the 20, and that was just about everything Oldham County wanted. Ian Fullerton down there to cover the ball at the 19, and that's where the Eagles will start 1st and 10.
Well, I take back everything I just said. They lost about 20 yards at Eastern after that punt.
Well, you know, Allen didn't really get the best of punts off that last time that he punted the ball, and I think Eastern didn't exactly give him the respect that maybe he deserved on that return. He kicked it right over their heads, and at that point they were pretty much lost. The only thing they could do was watch.
Yeah, I think Connor White was only about 30 yards downfield from the punt, so yeah.
So Eastern will start from inside their own 20 again. 5 receivers in the pattern here. Berger will be all alone in the shotgun, and they're going to give it to the receiver on the end round. Maddox loses the ball. It's on the ground, and let's see. They say Oldham County ball.
Number 28.
Mark Reynolds in there to come up with the takeaway, and the Colonels have it in great field position. Well, guys, Tom, I think you said it. Turnovers could well be the story of the game.
Yeah, the Eastern Eagles really struggled this year, like we talked about in the pregame. 10 lost fumbles this year already. That's their second one of the night. They've got the first one back, but Oldham County takes advantage this time and scoops it up.
And now Oldham County needs to take advantage on the offensive side of things and get some points up on the board. 3:49 before half.
Colonels will have it just the ball just inside the 25 of Eastern. Harding from the shotgun. Hands off to Parker Hennings into the line, and he's going to get thrown down right as he gets to the line of scrimmage and no more. Colonels have carried the ball, let's see, quickly, unofficially tonight in the first half 9 times for 33 yards. Not exactly awe-inspiring numbers, but enough to keep some of that pressure off of Harding and give him a little more time to throw the ball.
And that's a good job by the Eastern County, Eastern County, yeah, by the Eastern defense, as they're giving up over 200 yards rushing per game on average.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those stats both teams kind of claiming victory in. Harding back to throw, finds Vire, ball popped. Eastern's going to jump on it. The officials very quickly calling that an incompletion, but I tell you, that was a close call.
Well, good timing by the defender that time, hitting him just as the ball gets there to pop it loose.
Agree with the call, Tom?
I do. It's a very good call. One thing I will tell you, you talked about, when we were talking about earlier, Scott mentioned about a close pass being forwards or backwards. One thing we do teach officials, if it's that close, the whole saying is, when in doubt, wave it out. So if it's that close, we're going to give the advantage to the offense, and we call it an incomplete pass.
It's like having Mike Pereira up here.
Yeah, really.
Maybe I'll come up with a holy count a little bit and do a Keith for you.
3rd down 11, Oldham County. Harding back to throw. Here comes the rush. They're trying to set up the screen, and a little bit of miscommunication there. If Harding was looking for the screen, there was just nobody there.
Well, the offensive line was 15 yards downfield already, putting the block in. Tommy was certainly thrown off. So one of the defenders, now I didn't catch which one it was for Eastern, read that perfectly, saw the guy leaking out, and was able to pick him up. And Harding actually saw that before he threw the ball, and that's why you saw the pump fake.
Well, I think that was intended for Jared Baker. Baker was in there and looked like he was the guy leaking out for the screen, but Eastern did appear to be pretty much aware of where the play was going, and Baker was pretty well surrounded. So I guess, really when you think about it, James did about all he could do and throw it away.
4th down play.
Big one here for Harding and company. Colonels from the 31. Harding back to throw, has plenty of time now, fires, and tipped and incomplete. Good defensive play there. Tucker was angling towards the first down marker down near the 15-yard line. The pass falls incomplete, and the Colonels miss on a big opportunity.
That was Chris Cameron for Eastern broke up that play, a sophomore playing free safety for him.
One thing, if you look at this Eastern roster, Tom, you see a lot of sophomores out there playing right now.
Yep. I know last year when the head coach left, I forgot his name there, Zuckerman or something like that. When he left and Davis took over, Davis has worked with these kids for quite a few years as an assistant here, so I think he's got the respect of them, and he's trying to start with a younger program and try to bring those guys up.
2:46 to play till half. Eastern with the ball, and a whistle and the flag comes flying before the snap again. Of course, when you've got a lot of younger players, you're going to have to deal with some penalties at times.
Yeah. Actually, I think Oldham County got up to him, the head coach got up to him and called timeout to the outside official there.
I think you're right. We do have a timeout, Oldham County. Didn't count the players. I don't know if they didn't have enough on the field or just didn't like the alignment or whatever it was, but Oldham County's going to take the timeout. No score here at Eastern. Yeah, I am surprised. Since I think you guys are going to remind me. A big second half coming up here. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. Big second half coming up here. 2:45 to play. Next week, folks, Pegasus Sports will be in Goshen, Kentucky, as North Oldham plays host to the Collins Titans, the defending state 4A champions, in a game that may well decide who wins the district in that Class 4A district. And then we'll wrap up the regular season also in Goshen as North Oldham plays host to East Jessamine. Of course, once we get to the playoffs, Pegasus Sports will be trying to cover Oldham County, South Oldham, North Oldham, all three teams. And the goal right now is to get at least 2 games on every week.
And Mike, speaking of South Oldham, they currently lead Scott 10-6 in the second quarter.
Boy, I tell you, that district's going to be wild. A very good chance that that's going to end up in a 3-way tie between Connor, Cooper, and South.
Mel Nell leads Trinity by a score of 13-7 in the second.
I'm actually surprised that's...
What do they do, draw straws? Is that what happens if there's a 3-way tie?
No, then it gets... Well, I'll tell you in a second here. As we get a handoff into the line... So after a timeout, not exactly a very exotic play here, Eastern with a little halfback dive for Johnson gets it out over the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Second down and about 7 for the Eagles. Now what they do is they look at all your non-district games that you played, and you look at each of those teams that you beat in your non-district schedule, and you look at the games they've won. And like if a team you beat has won 5 games and you get 5 points, and you add them all up, and whoever has the most points wins that tiebreaker.
That sounds just a little bit complicated.
It's really not, as Eastern throws an incompletion here and brings up third down. It's really not. And for North Oldham, at least, in their district, because they could very well end up in a 3-way tie, their win over South Oldham is going to be a big, big advantage for them. If they end up in a 3-way tie. South Oldham, that win over Anderson County, the win over Collins, those will loom very big. If South gets in a 3-way tie, you got to think they've got the advantage there, especially if they beat Bullitt Central in their last game of the season. Bullitt Central was 7-0 last I checked. Eastern on 3rd and 7. Berger back to throw, flushed out of the pocket, now throwing deep. It's a wobbly one, and Oldham County had the best shot at that one. Getting back there on defense for the Colonels was Will Jennings, the senior defensive back, but even he was about 5 yards too short of it. Guys, Oldham County's going to get another crack at this before the half here.
Mike, we talked about turnovers. We've had 3 turnovers in the game, and nobody has been able to take advantage of any of them. That's the key to forcing those turnovers, is you have to do something with them.
Well, and of course, Oldham County, wow, they're right now just kind of kicking themselves a little bit because Eastern gave them a great opportunity after that fumble inside their own 25. High snap. The Eagles could get away a short punt here, and Oldham County is going to get great field position. That one goes out of bounds. Looked like somewhere around the Oldham 48. We'll see where they actually spot it. But the Colonel's going to have a very short field position and not a lot of time. 1:44, but they got 2 timeouts. And with James Harding's arm, plenty of time to put this one in the end zone.
Well, this is the time I would put that extra running back there in the backfield and get him a little bit of protection, give him time to get his feet set and make sure he's making good plays down the field. A couple of 10-yard passes, pick up first down, stop the clock.
They'll mark it at the Oldham County 45. It'll be Tucker, Vire, and Farrow wide to the right. Trying to see on the left side, looks like Axtell is wide to the left. Harding has one back in the backfield with him. Fires to his right. Tucker hauls it in, sidesteps one defender, gets past the second defender, and is ushered out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Not a real big gain there as he picks up 2, maybe 3, and it'll be second down. Now they'll mark him at the 49, so I'll give him 4 yards on the play.
Well, clock initially stopped there, so they finally started rolling it again. So Oldham County actually gaining some time here if they can get up to the ball.
Yeah, the clock operator didn't see that. Anything that's a forward progress is stopped and then pushed out of bounds, the clock continues to run, and the clock operator obviously missed that one.
Second down and 6 for the Colonels. Harding, 1:13, clock rolling here. Has the ball now. Here comes the rush. He's in trouble. The ball is separated, and it's loose and picked up by Eastern. Eastern is going to run this in for the touchdown just before the half, and the big play goes the Eagles' way.
34-yard fumble return.
Jeremy Bonner, a junior. And, well, we called it, unfortunately. As was said, Tom, that turnovers would play a huge role. And unfortunately for Oldham County, they cough up 6 points on the fumble recovery. Cosma is the kicker. Kicks the extra point up, and the extra point is good. 58.5 seconds left here in the first half. And the Eagles draw first blood, and just like that, Oldham County, who seem to have things going their way, gives up the big score.
Well, and Mike, you know, you go back, there was pressure coming from both ends there by Eastern. But that's exactly what we just talked about. If you had a back in the backfield on both sides of them to give them that extra time and that extra protection, you know, it gives him a chance to get that ball off.
You know, unfortunately there, he had that ball up high getting ready to throw it, and the player from Eastern, the defender, got underneath of him and forced the ball up through his helmet basically and went over his head.
Yeah, put a helmet on the
ball.
Yeah,
had no chance to get turned around and pick up the ball.
You know, unfortunate for Oldham County. And really, he never saw him coming. He was just turning that way to get rid of it. Never saw the defender in its face.
So Eastern getting set to kick off here as they lead now 7-0. We are, guys, we're in the old bleachers here at Eastern High School, what used to be the home side of the field.
Do they just have earthquakes on this side?
And I tell you, you know, it feels old right now. Shaking up and down here. Cosma, squib kick up the middle. Oldham County will field it on the run and gets it out over the 35 to about the 37-yard line. See, it was Spencer Johnson on the return there. Nice little return. And really, Oldham County still with plenty of time. 2 timeouts.
Yeah, guys, keep
54 seconds to go till half.
Excuse me, Mike. Keep in mind they will get the ball coming out first in the second half. So even if they could get down into field goal range here before halftime, get 3 points up on the board, that could be huge.
Oh yeah.
Get that momentum swing coming back out the second half.
7-0 Eagles here. Harding from the shotgun. Colonels with plenty of time. The ball at their own 37. Fires, screens it, right side to Alan Farrell. Sidesteps one defender, can't get past the second guy, gets it to the 41, and a gain of about 4 or 5, and that's about it. Timeout on the field, and it is going to be Oldham County calling a timeout with 35.6 to play.
Yeah, I think they're going to put some more time up on the clock, surely. Probably about 5 seconds added on to that.
Yeah, the referee headed to the other side to talk to the press box there. Still haven't moved the down marker here. Now we're going to get it moved. Okay, they're going to give him 6 on the completion there. Alan Farrow with his 3rd catch of the ball game.
And that's really not the play I would expect him to run in that situation. I mean, he's shown that he can get the ball downfield. I mean, put the ball down, 10, 15 yards. It doesn't have to be that far, enough to stop the clock on the first down, get back up there, spike it or throw it again, whatever you're going to do. Save that time out until you get down into field goal range.
Scott's right on the money there. He's run that deep slant a couple times tonight where he's throwing the ball 10, 15 yards downfield on a dead strike to a guy, so that definitely is his pass pattern.
40.4 seconds is what they put up on the scoreboard here. Oldham County now will have 1 timeout. Colonels will send Farrell wide to the left, Tucker in the slot on that side, and Justin Vire closest to the line among the three wideouts. Axtell is wide to the right side. They have not really looked to Carson tonight. Probably the best deep threat on the team. Bobbled snap. Harding pulls it down. Throws right side, left side, complete. Farrell has it. Knocked out of bounds at about the 43, 42 yard line. Let's see where the officials are going to move it to.
And guys, if there was any doubt about his arm strength, he showed it on that play as he was rolling off to his left, which is already difficult enough for a right-handed quarterback to throw going in that direction. But again, he put that one right over the defender's outstretched arms, right on the sideline, where his receiver can make the catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
17 yards on the pass play. Farrell with 4 catches. First down, Oldham County. Quickly up to the line. 33.6 to play. Harding in the shotgun. Has it. Looks, fires underneath, ball tipped up in the air. Threw that one into traffic, but a flag is going to come in late here. He was trying to get it to, I believe, Carson Axtell, and a flag has been thrown right about where the contact was. Officials are going to huddle on this one.
Yeah, we have 2 separate flags there, so they're going to make sure they both have the same thing before they let the referee know what the call is.
When are they going to invest in headsets for these referees like they have now in the college and NFL?
I don't think the KHSA is going to put that bill out there. So,
and they're going to pick up the flag.
Oldham County sideline obviously not happy.
That breaks my heart to hear those boos, though. Don't like hearing that.
29.3 on the clock. Second down and 10. Colonels at the eastern 40-yard line. Farrow and Tucker wide to the right side, 2 wide to the left. Harding has the ball, has protection. Now breaks down, rolls to his left, needs to get rid of the ball, and he's not able to. They're going to bury him back at the Oldham County 49-yard line.
Oldham County will burn their last time out with 18 seconds remaining.
Well, it looked like the protection was going to hold there for a second, and then just suddenly it was a jailbreak right up the middle, and Harding not able to get rid of the ball in time. So the Colonels having to burn that timeout with 17.9 seconds left, and now the ball just on their side of the field at their own 49-yard line.
We have loss of 11 with the sack.
Mike Schatzer trying to light a fire under his offense here. And he's going to bring in an extra tight end here now. Looks like Isaiah Kelly's going to end the ball game. So the Colonels will send Vire, Tucker, and Farrow wide to the right side of the field. And it looks like Kelly, the tight end who's just come into the lineup, will line up on the left side of the line there. Nobody split wide to the left. One back in the backfield. That's Spencer Johnson. Back to throw. Harding throwing it deep. And it's a jump ball picked off at the 18-yard line. And running it back to about the 45, and they're going to knock him down at about the Oldham County 40-yard line. Coming up with the interception.
That's Cameron.
Was Cameron.
Cameron gets a pretty good run back, and now actually a chance for Eastern to throw one to the end zone with just under 4 seconds remaining.
Well,
if they so choose.
And the problem for Oldham County, obviously, this quarter, guys, could be summed up in one word: turnovers. 3 turnovers this quarter. And of course, the fumble was the big one because they got returned for a touchdown. But three takeaways for the Eastern Eagle defense, which has not won a turnover battle in a game this year.
Actually, Mike, that may be. I think I've written. How many turnovers do you have for Eastern?
They had 2. They got one back and they lost the one, so they've had 2 tonight.
Yeah, they lost the one fumble.
Right.
Oldham technically has 4 because they did turn it over on downs one time. Back to throw, Berger. He's in trouble and coming in and getting the sack for Oldham County to end the half was Zach Payton. And so we go to the halftime locker room. Eastern on top thanks to a defensive score. The Eagles, a 31-yard fumble return is the difference as we go to the halftime locker room. The Office Max halftime report is next. You're watching the Oldham County Colonels on the Pegasus Sports Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
At Office Max, your success is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, Office Max has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the Office Max Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's Office Max. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday till 6 p.m. on Sundays. Office Max. Work with us. A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
Baptist Health Crestwood on Kentucky 329 is conveniently located approximately 1 mile from I-71. Baptist Health Crestwood offers outpatient physical therapy and diagnostic imaging services, including x-rays, CAT scans, digital mammography, and DXA bone density scanning. The facility also houses the offices of Baptist Medical Associates Crestwood. For more information, visit baptistcrestwood.com.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
It was a Friday night in Kentucky, and all across the state, streets were empty. Stores were dark. Restaurants were closed. Even the town squares, normally the center of the action, were silent and still. In most states, the sudden disappearance of a town's population would be cause for alarm. But this was Kentucky, and it was high school football, volleyball, and soccer season. The explanation was perfectly clear. This wasn't some episode of The Twilight Zone. It was game night.
At the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, we salute the players, coaches, and fans that make high school sports one of our state's proudest traditions. We invite you to be part of the action. High school sports, where greatness gets its start. This message made possible by the KHSAA and the high schools in this community.
I thought I was pro-choice. Then I saw government figures that say almost half of the 3,000 abortions done each day in this country are repeats. That means 2, 3, even 4 abortions for the same woman. Then I learned the Roe v. Wade court decision legalized abortion in all 9 months of pregnancy for any reason at all. Maybe being pro-choice isn't what I thought. It really got me thinking.
A message from Right to Life at KORLA.org.
And welcome to the Office Max Halftime Report. At Office Max, your success is our business. At the half here in Middletown, Eastern is up 7-0, contrary to what your scoreboard says there. I have to get that corrected here. As Eastern with the score defensively here, guys, and I got to admit I was obviously way off on this one. Oldham County Eastern, I expected to see a whole lot more scoring. In the end, it turns out the defense was reigning supreme, and Eastern ends up getting the only score of the half, and they end up getting it on a defensive score.
Well, and we talked about Oldham County's defense, and they played well at times this year, and they played well pretty much the whole half here tonight. I mean, I'm looking over the numbers for Eastern, which we'll get to in just a moment, but the Oldham County defense is doing everything they can to keep them in the game. Unfortunately for both teams, neither team has been unable to take advantage of turnovers until about a minute remaining there in the second quarter.
Yeah, and turnovers became very, very big. Oldham County turning the ball over twice there in that final minute. And, of course, the big one was the fumble, and Bonner of Eastern returning at 31 yards for the score. That is the only score. Hey, both defenses can claim that they're playing very well. They haven't. Neither defense has allowed a point. But just that one loose bouncing ball, and Tom, I guess of the group of us, you've hit this one on the head so far. You thought it was going to be fairly much a defensive struggle, and you talked about the turnovers playing the big role.
Exactly. That's one thing we talked at the beginning of the game about the points allowed by Eastern and Oldham County both, and here it is, averaging, giving up 40 points between the two teams each game, and here 7-0 ball game at halftime. What a defensive struggle.
Well, the defensive coordinators may not have been the happiest guys on these teams throughout the year, but they're doing pretty good tonight. As we look at this game, guys, if you're Oldham County right now, unfortunately you go into the locker room with that terrible game of what if. And of course, the Colonels are looking back at that Eagles fumble inside their own 25, and Oldham County on 4 plays really unable to move the ball.
Yeah. Oldham County, it seems like when they've had the field position in the first half, they've been unable to do anything with it. But when they were deep in their own territory and started their drives, they were able to move the ball downfield. I don't want to say at will, but at least at a decent clip. But the one time where they get the ball down inside the red zone on a turnover, they're unable to do anything with it. And we talked about the momentum, and they just have been unable to get any at all.
I think Scott kind of called it too, and we're talking about, go back to the passing game. He's got plenty of arm to throw that pass downfield. If he just had that extra, 2 seconds maybe of protection with another back there to give him the time to throw it more from the pocket than being rushed out of it, I think that could make a difference for the second half for the Colonels.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers brought to you by Office Max. And the first down's pretty much even in the first half. In fact, actually, I had Oldham County with a slight edge of 6-5 in the first half. Unfortunately, 3 turnovers, 4 if you count the one on downs, which is statistically a turnover. Eastern with just 1 turnover in the first half. Oldham County started off the game running the ball pretty well. Parker Hennings was looking pretty good running the ball early on, but the running game kind of fizzled away. The Colonels with only 22 yards on the ground at the half on 10 carries. Parker Hennings with 28 yards on 5 carries. So it's he's had the bulk of the running going his way. The Colonels obviously losing 11 yards on a sack when James Harding was sacked there late in the first half. Harding in the first half, 7 of 14 passing for 86 yards. That's the good news. The bad news, 2 interceptions in that first half. Alan Farrow with 4 catches for Oldham County for 52 yards. Trey Tucker 3 for 31, and Oldham County with 108 yards of total offense here in the first half. But unfortunately for Mike Schatzer and company, the big story, a big goose egg up on that halftime scoreboard.
Well, Oldham County definitely doing better than Eastern total yardage-wise. I mean, as well as Eastern moved the ball there early, they end up only 83 total yards here at halftime. Now, this is, again, where high school stats kind of are a little bit quirky. At halftime, I have them with only 16 total rushing yards, but that's mostly because 22 yards have been on a fumble that went over the quarterback's head that he had to jump on, and then a 7-yard sack there right before the end of the half. So 22 yards lost by him on those 2 plays. So 16 total yards. Johnson leading the way with 30 yards. Brooks has 5 and Maddox with 3. Passing-wise, Berger 6 for 13, 67 yards, led in receiving by Cosma, who has 50 of those 67.
So defense is leading the way for both teams here in the first half, and Eastern leads this game 7-0 at the break. Other Oldham County scores at the half: North Oldham all over Atherton, 35-0, pretty much the expectation in that ball game. And I'm trying to find it here. I saw it just a second ago. South Oldham was leading over Scott High. I'm trying to figure some others. Fairdale over Nelson County, 7-0 at the half. Christian Academy leads DeSales 7-0 at the half. That seems to be a popular score tonight. Shelby County trailing Bullitt Central. That is in the first half, 12-7. And I just saw it here. South Oldham halftime leads Scott High 10-6 in a big game. Now St. X 18-0 over Emmanuel first half action.
Mike, North Oldham, who we also of course cover here on Pegasus, up 35-0 on Atherton.
So those are some of your halftime scores. And Franklin County leads Anderson County, two pretty good teams in Class 5A. Franklin up at the break 14-7.
Bowling Green leading Warren Central 14-0.
And
South Warren over Monroe 21-7. That's at the end of the first quarter.
So lots of high school football going on here at Eastern High School at the break. The Eagles in a defensive struggle with Oldham County. Neither team really moving the ball well, but the Eagles with that defensive score, they lead 7-0. Scott, Tom, and I'll be back with the second half of action right here on the Pegasus Sports Network right after these messages. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, Office Max has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the Office Max Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's Office Max. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday till 6 p.m. on Sundays. Office Max. Work with us. A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
Baptist Health LaGrange is the best experience expecting families can ever conceive of. We offer spacious, comfortable rooms, a dedicated team of nurses from labor to the time you go home, and a helpful maternity website to guide you through all the questions before and after baby's arrival. For more information or to register for free prenatal classes, visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
And we're back here at Eastern High School in Middletown, Kentucky, along with Tom Hoffman and Scott Jaggers. I'm Mike Montgomery. Glad you're here with us. Want to remind you tonight's game is brought to you in part by Delco Land Management Incorporated right there in Crestwood. Give them a call today. Find out what Delco can do for you. 445-3100. Give them a call. Ask for my good friend Dennis Dale. You know, these folks are not just some folks with a lawnmower and a tractor and a truck. These are guys who have been involved in the green industry for over 15 years, and their number one goal is retention. That means making their customers so happy that they're back again the next year. And whether you're a landowner like me who's just got a yard that's too big for you to take care of, and you need somebody to come and do a professional job of mowing and mulching and taking the debris away from your yard every time, or maybe you're a businessman who needs to make sure the first image of your company is a good one, Delco can come and meet your needs, and they'll show you what they're going to do. They'll give you complete design on the computer, let you know exactly what you're getting. And, you know, if you need to get rid of those pesky weeds, they know exactly what to do. They're not only a member of the Kentucky Lawn Maintenance Association, they're certified by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture Division of Pesticides. So give them a call today. And you know what? This winter, when you can't even see the green stuff, they can still come help you out. They'll help you out with snow and ice pre-treatment, snow plowing, snow stacking, and ice control. And if you run a business, you know how important it is to make sure nobody's slipping and sliding in your parking lot. Give them a call today, 445-3100. Ask for Dennis. That's Delco Land Management, Inc. Guys, let me put you guys in the roles of the coaches here. It's pretty much anybody's ball game. The defenses have ruled the day, and what that means is anybody can win this game here in this second half. So, Tom, let me start with you. You're Sean Davis. You go into the locker room with the lead. What you telling your kids?
Offensive line, you've got to block. You know, he's trying to throw, run those up the middle, in between the tackles. 1 or 2 yards is not going to cut it. He's going to have to spread it out the second half.
Scott, you're Mike Schatzer in the Oldham County locker room. Actually, they just kind of met down here in the end zone. They didn't really go anywhere. It's a great night. So they stayed down here in the end zone. So you're first-year coach at Oldham County. What do you tell your kids? This is still anybody's ball game.
Well, first of all, both of these defenses play great in the first half, and I think both coaches are letting them know that. So this game is going to come down to what kind of adjustments they can make here at halftime. So if I'm on the Oldham County coaching staff, it's really not the kids that have to make that adjustment, but it seems like we talk about it every time we see this Oldham County team. You have got to give the quarterback, you've got to give Harding time in the pocket to get the ball down the field. Anytime you give him time, he has the strength and accuracy to get it downfield. So bring another back, put another tight end, just work with 2 wide receivers on the outside, whatever you have to do to get him time in that pocket. If you can do that, he can move the ball up and down the field.
All right, you heard it here, and since they're a whole heck of a lot closer to the score than I am, I'm going to defer to them here in the second half. I'm the guy who said, what did I say, 42-37? I may still have the last laugh yet, but right now it sure looks like the defensive guys have come to play. Eastern with the lead. Oldham County will get the ball to start the second half. Also want to remind you guys about the coffee news, that nifty little one-page brown newspaper that you can find in every restaurant in Oldham County, whether it's a nice sit-down place like Beef O'Brady's or Applebee's or El Tarasco, or whether it's just a fast food joint where you're running in and running out. You can find the coffee news there in the stands, and this is a great little thing this is what everybody's reading at lunch when they go out. They're reading the quotes, they're reading what's happening in Oldham County, they're reading the stories, the horoscopes, the jokes, the quizzes, and all along the sides are advertisements of local businessmen in Oldham County and around Oldham County. And the neat little thing, if you advertise in this, you are the only business of your type that is advertising. You got people like Aussie Pet Mobile, which is a mobile pet grooming service. You've got mortgage companies. You've got salons. And every one of those is the only business of its type that advertises in the coffee news, because they lock it up. You sell cars, you'll be the only car salesman in the coffee news. Give my good friend David a call, 797 797-7828. That's 797-7828, the Coffee News. And, of course, be sure to look up in the corner. Check out that Pegasus Sports Network broadcast schedule.
And, Mike, just so you know, I was sitting at lunch the other day. I was reading the Coffee News and switched over and looked at the horoscopes. And it came true the next day. So I'm back on the horoscope.
You're back on the horoscope.
That's my favorite part of this thing.
Kevin Montgomery on the camera out there. As you can see, Oldham County now getting set to go back to return. Deep for Oldham County. Looks like Parker Hennings and Alan Farrow, and the Eagles try an onside kick. Little razzle-dazzle to start the second half at Oldham County.
I don't know that was on purpose, Mike.
And I'll tell you, I don't know that Oldham County was expecting it, but Isaiah Kelly was there to fall on it.
It hit him square in the chest. He almost had to catch it. I don't think that was intended to be an onside kick. I guess both teams a little bit fortunate that this will be, I believe, the best field position. Well, aside from the fumble that they recovered a little bit earlier, this will be the best field position Oldham County has had.
Well, to start the drive, that's certainly true. They're going to start it at their own 45-yard line. Eastern leading 7-0. Harding will bring his team out under center, I formation. Hennings is the tailback. Spencer Johnson is the fullback. Pitch back to Hennings. Around the left side, finds a little room. He's out to the 50 and the 49-yard line, a gain of 6.
You know, that's something else that Oldham County could probably go back to and have a little bit of success is running on the edge. They haven't done much of that. The only couple of plays that they did it in the first half were both double-digit gains.
Second down 4 for the Colonels. In Eastern Territory is Farrow and Axtell. Wide to the right side, again an high backfield. Spencer Johnson, the fullback. Hennings, the tailback. Harding has the ball, gives it to his tailback. Hennings, right side, gets away from one tackler and drives ahead, and he should have the first down at about the 45. Eastern had an arm tackle on him there, and he just blasted through it. And the chains will move. First down, Oldham County. So the Colonels, who had only 22 yards net on the ground here in the first half, come out running the ball. And Eastern having trouble getting a player off the field. And it's going to be an official timeout to get big number 55 off of there.
Yeah, he was in the backfield getting some pressure, and came up a little gimpy.
First and 10 Colonels in Eastern Territory. 2 wide to the left side. That's Farrow and Axtell. They'll pitch it. Running that way is Hennings. Again, he breaks through with the initial tackler and gets forward for about 3 yards before being brought down by Cameron.
And again, another player shaken up in the backfield for Eastern. We'll have to see how serious that is, holding that left arm.
Yeah, he reached out. That's one of the two guys that tried to arm tackle him, and, of course, he broke through that like nothing. Yeah, they're sending him out now, number 18 for Eastern.
Second down and about 8. So I'll give him 2 on that last carry.
That's William Leak, number 18.
Eastern 4-man front. Harding under center. High backfield, and they fake the pitch. They give to the fullback, and up the middle goes Johnson. Johnson at the 30. Johnson to the 25, to the 20, and down to the 17-yard line. A gain of 25 and an Oldham County first down.
You know, Mike, that was one heck of a block there. Number 75, Quinn was pulling to his left and cut that open wide, so had plenty of room to run up that left side of the line there.
Yeah, the Oldham County crowd absolutely livid about something that they feel the officials missed at the end of the play there. Tom, I'm not really sure what they were looking for there, but the Oldham County crowd was not happy.
I think somebody they were saying was throwing a punch. I did not see it, but.
First and 10, Colonels inside the 20-yard line. Ball at the 18 of Eastern. Pitch it to Hennings. Cuts it upfield, dives forward, and picks up a couple of yards there. Oldham County has done a good job tonight, guys, of making sure that they're falling forward. They're getting a little positive yardage even when there's just not much there.
And that's something you always try to teach. Keep those legs moving, stay low, and fall forward. Anything positive. Obviously, you hear it all the time, a game of inches.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you, he very definitely advanced the ball a little bit. The downs marker, though, didn't move. Second down and almost 10. Harding gives it to Hennings, trying the right side and nothing doing this time. Might have got to the line of scrimmage. And Oldham County now is going to be looking at 3rd and long here.
Looks like they're struggling to run around that right side. The defense has stepped up for Eastern. They've had their, I think their best luck running around this left side, kind of off tackle.
Well, the Colonels have been running the entire drive here. They have not thrown a single pass this possession, but now looking at 3rd and 9 at about the 18-yard line. The big run by Spencer Johnson setting up the Colonels here in the red zone. Farrow and Axtell both to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Wide side of the field totally empty right now. Harding, play action, back to throw, looking, Farrow turns and catches it at the goal line and steps in for the touchdown.
That was absolutely a perfectly timed pass. He threw that ball, and the receiver hadn't turned around for probably 2 seconds prior to the ball being thrown. Turned around just in time to see it in.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a timing play all the way. No sooner than Harding threw that ball to the right side, Farrow turned around and had about half a second. Right at his eyes, too. Right, just had to get his hands up, and great timing play.
Well, and when you run that timing play that well, guys, the defense really doesn't have much they can do about it.
Exactly.
Gonzalez on for the extra point. A high kick is straight up, and it is straight down the middle, and we are tied. 7:26 to play here in the 3rd period. Oldham County on the board, the first offensive score of the ball game. And an 18-yard pass play to Alan Farrow from James Harding.
Well, the Eagles were able to use the run that entire drive to set up that pass play as they used the play action fake.
You mean the Colonels?
Yeah, the Colonels. That's the ones, yes.
The other blue and white team.
Let's go. White team.
Well, Oldham County answering the bell here, guys, and that's what you got to love if you're a coach. You come out of the locker room, you get the ball first, you get it in great field position, and then you make something happen. It's got to be a good feeling on the sideline. You got to think right now the momentum kind of shifting over to the OC side of the field.
Well, in fact, you say that, Mike. Coach Schatzer, after that, the extra point, he took off running probably from the opposite 30 all the way down past the 40, the opposite 40, bringing his team down, getting them psyched up. So what a big play for Oldham to come back in this game.
Colonels.
Oldham.
Here's the kickoff. Eastern drops it at about the 4, but gets it back, and Mark Reynolds down there on special teams. The Eagles will start at their own 19.
Yeah, it was Connor White ran it back for Eastern. It looks like he's limping off the side of the field now.
Well, it looks like he kind of got tackled a little bit awkwardly.
Yep.
I felt some pain in my right knee as he went down.
Thanks, Scott. No pun intended, I know.
Pleasure Ridge Park leading Butler at the half, 18-3 in that ball game. Meanwhile, Franklin County still up by 7 on Anderson County, 21-14, big fifth quarter tilt. And other scores we'll try to pick up as we go along. South Oldham now up 17-6 over Scott High with 7:01 to play in the third quarter. Adam Clark with an 18-yard touchdown run. Eastern with the ball now. Berger under center is going to give it to the first man through. I believe that was Johnson, I believe. Yeah, it was Johnson. Took it out over the 20. Short gain of a couple. Second down and a long 8. It has been a tale of the defenses all night. And right now on our experts' predictions, right now that means Tom Hoffman looking pretty good.
Pays to be the rookie sometimes, Mike.
He picked only 37, although I'm not sure, but what you may have overstated it.
I think it is.
Yeah,
yes.
37 points being scored. Handoff, tailback into the line. Boy, look at all the white jerseys, guys. I'm an old Dallas Cowboy fan, and I remember the concept of gang tackling. And Ian Fullerton in there for Oldham County. Also Blake Voiles, 2 or 3 other white jerseys also in there. Don't want to shortchange them, but not a lot of running room. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles after the 2-yard gain. Colonels with that 3-man front, battling against a pretty good Eastern size advantage in there and doing a pretty good job. From the shotgun, Berger fires left side, tipped, and intercepted. Vire with the interception, trying to reverse field now, and he's got it down to about the 21. Oldham County with their second takeaway of the ball game.
What a catch. He juggled that thing around a couple of times. Actually, it looked like he almost knocked it right out of the hands of the receiver, tipped it up to himself, and that's why they do the tip drill in practice every day.
Yeah, on defensive side, not offensive like earlier, like Easter tried to do. But yeah, definitely Oldham County played that tight. Great defensive play by the young man.
Oldham County now with the ball in great field position, a chance to come and take the lead away from the Eastern team with their first 2 possessions of the second half.
Now the momentum has clearly gone the way of the Colonel since halftime.
Harding hands off to Hennings, following a wave of his offensive linemen over the left side inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. Maybe a 3, trying to get a good angle on this here. Looks like maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain. Okay, they had him down at about the 19, so it was really only about a 1 yard gain there. 40 yards for Parker Hennings on the ground tonight on 10 carries, averaging right at 4 yards a carry. Harding under center. He'll pitch back to Hennings, and Eastern with good penetration, and Hennings is going to get rustled down at the 21, but here comes the flag.
That was a brutal face mask. I saw that from up here. He definitely grabbed it and turned him around. The crowd was on top of that one as well.
Well, the crowd is on top of several.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's going to bail out Oldham County here. Sometimes you got to be a little bit lucky, and Eastern going to give Oldham County a first down on the penalty here, on the face mask penalty. Would have been 3rd and long, but instead Eastern makes it a first down.
Yeah, in high school, that is a difference in the rule. In high school, a personal foul is not an automatic first down like it is in college. In this case, it was only 10 yards ago, so that's definitely, it'll actually go half the distance to the goal, which will give them a first down about the 10-yard line, it looks like.
And that's really not something Eastern has done much this year, guys. Eastern's opponents have only gained 5 first downs by penalty, and that's in 7 ball games. But this time the Colonels get it.
And, Mike, I take that back. That was actually not with the half the distance
to the goal.
It's not. It'll actually be second down in about 2.
You're right. It's not quite going to be a first down. But it totally changes things now. The Colonels on second down needing just a yard. Eye backfield behind Harding. And he fakes the pitch, gives it to Johnson. Johnson fighting forward. He'll get the first down to about the 7-yard line, and that makes it pretty much a moot point. Spencer Johnson with 6 carries tonight. Has 30 yards here in the second half, 33 for the ball game, and Oldham County first in goal now, knocking on the door. Harding comes back onto the field with the play. 4 minutes, 20 seconds now to go. Here in the third period, Oldham County trailed by 7 at the half. They scored on their first possession here in the third period, and now after the interception, threatening to go ahead with a field goal or a TD here. Hennings is the tailback, and we're going to get a flag, a delay of game on the Colonels. Wow.
Yeah, it took them forever, it seemed, to come out of the huddle. I don't know if there was a delay getting the next play in from the sideline or what the issue was.
Well, Oldham County frequently gets the play in by having Harding coming over to the sideline. The pitch to Hennings. Hennings is going to be swarmed under by a wave of Eastern blue, and I'm not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Lufko covered him up as soon as he got the ball trying to sweep around the right side. He was there to meet him right at the line of scrimmage. Like he said, maybe losing a yard or two.
Yeah, they're going to mark him back.
Yeah, he's back at the 14, loss of 2.
Yep. Second and goal, the ball at the 14-yard line. Would be a 31-yard attempt from this spot if Oldham had to go for the field goal. Harding in the shotgun. He's got backs on either side of him. Wideouts both ways. Pumps, fires to the end zone. He's got a man, and Farrell has it in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
What a catch. He reached as far as you could possibly go to put that on his fingertips. What a catch by the young man.
Well, and the nice thing about the pass was it was only a position where his receiver was going to catch it. Nobody else was going to get to that thing besides Farrell, and Farrell turns around. Actually, he was looking over his right shoulder, and once Harding let it go, he turned around, looked over his left shoulder, and like you said, stretched his arms out. Fingertip catch in the corner of the end zone. 14-yard touchdown.
And just like that, the Colonels with 3:11 to play here in the third period. They lead 13-7. The extra point try is up, and it's no good. Gonzalez pushed it off to the left side, so it's only a 6-point game now. But the Colonels had the bigger score. Oldham County 13, Eastern 7. And we'll be back to Middletown right after this on the Pegasus Sports Network.
No one wants to spend the season on the sidelines. Whether you're a high school athlete or a weekend warrior, there's always potential for injury. That's why the sports therapy experts at Baptist Health LaGrange and Baptist Health Sports Medicine are standing by to help with injury prevention and treatment. We are also the proud provider of complimentary sports medicine services for all Oldham County high schools. For more information, call 222-0598 or visit BaptistHealthLaGrange.com.
Back in Middletown, 3:11 left to play here in the third period. Oldham County now up by 6 points over the Eagles as the Colonels try to get back on the winning side of things here. And what a play. Back-to-back touchdowns by Farrell on passes from Harding, and now there's the deep kickoff. Eastern on the return, and a great tackle shy of the 20-yard line, and once again Eastern will not get to the 20.
Barmanji on the tackle. And Mike, that missed extra point after that final touchdown. Oldham County, obviously, with all the momentum here in the second half, and at this point they have to hope it stays that way. A lot of times those things come back to bite you at the end of a game.
Eastern will start inside their own 20. They'll mark it about the 18-yard line. Eagles 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Berger going back into the shotgun now. Quick fires to the right side to White, and he is met immediately. Lots of white jerseys there at the 20. A minimal gain of just a couple. Ian Fullerton over there. Mark Reynolds over there. Also Voiles. As the Colonels covered that well. You think they talked about that maybe in the halftime locker room, guys? Whoops, we got to turn your mic back on, Tom. Sorry.
That's one thing Eastern I talked about at halftime. We talked about what they need to come out and do. They definitely spread it out, but here the Colonels step up and read the play very well. Good defensive play.
Colonel's up on a couple of Harding passes for touchdowns. Wind's starting to pick up out there, guys. Eastern going into the wind right now. As Berger, lots and lots of time, throws and finds his man up near the 35, and Oldham County's going to get flagged for a hit out of bounds.
Chris is down there.
Pass was complete to Cosma over on the sideline, and Oldham County came in and with a late hit, and the Colonels are going to give up 15 here.
Looks like a gain of about 13 on the catch, and then you'll walk off another 15 on top of that. So all in all, about a 28-yard gain.
Yeah, and, it was, the defensive player committed himself and went diving in. It just so happened that Cosma stepped out of bounds. And, it was a good call. I mean, the officials made the right call there.
Well,
but,
let's see. Let's go to Mike Pereira on the call here.
I will tell you, that was an excellent call. He was probably a yard out of bounds. It's hard for a defender to pull up when you're full speed like he was, but you've got to try to avoid that once that guy steps out of bounds like that.
Yeah, and that's a call that has to be made. Oldham County giving up the 15, so Eastern at the 50 now. First down, back to throw is Berger. Looks, here comes the rush. McIntosh is going to drag him down along with Ian Fullerton, and Oldham County comes up with their second sack of the ball game. Loss of a couple, back to about the 48-yard line. Good pressure up the middle by Alex McIntosh, and then Fullerton came over to help finish him off.
Eastern had an offside or a set off to the right-hand side, an extra lineman to this side, and they said once he went up the middle, the quarterback rolled to the opposite side where there's only two offensive linemen, and the two defensive linemen for Oldham County filled the hole, made it possible for the loss of yardage there.
Berger in the shotgun. One back in the backfield with him. Quick catch, throws, finds his man, and it'll be complete on the right side. It'll be shy of the first down. Justin Green, nice little spin move to pick up a couple of extra yards, but it's still going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. As they get it to the 42, it'll be 3rd and 2. Well, now Berger looked pretty good, sharp on that play. Just a quick, catch in the shotgun, catch, fires, and all timing, and Green was there. He got the little spin move and picked up a couple extra yards to boot.
Big third down here for the Oldham County defense. Momentum's been going their way. Another stop here keeps it in their direction.
White and Cosma wide to the left side. Green to the right. Berger's in the shotgun. One back to his right. And he hands it off into the line. He's going to lean forward and fights forward down to the Oldham County 36 for the first down. And that was the guy they've had in there, but I don't think they've handed off to him yet. That was number 82. Swan, it sounded like the PA announcer said. I'm trying to find him on the roster.
Mike, I think you need to put your bifocals on to see this.
There he is, Bryant Swan. He's a sophomore. And another one of those running backs with a number in the 80s. This should be the last play of the third quarter here. 9 seconds. Berger has it. Back to throw, fires, and through the hands of his intended target, and that will be the final play of the third period. We'll go to the fourth and final period. Oldham County has rallied from a 7-point halftime deficit at the end of 3. They now lead this ball game 13-7. We'll be back to Middletown right after this on the Pegasus Sports Network.
You give 110%. Baptist Health Sports Medicine's group of physical therapists, athletic trainers, a neurologist who specializes in concussion management, and sports medicine trained physicians go just as hard to get you back in the game you love. Our facility at Baptist Health East Point features private treatment rooms, a physical therapy gym, indoor turf field, and other indoor sports training facilities. No matter what your level or your game, to get back to your best, consult the best. Call 253-6689 or visit BaptistSportsMedKY.com.
13-7, 1 quarter remains here in Middletown. Eastern driving, but Oldham County leads this game 13-7. Along with Scott Jaggers and Tom Hoffman, I'm Mike Montgomery. Glad you're here with us tonight. This has been a good ball game.
Mike, I noticed you talked about the wind there on the last play. I noticed that when Oldham County was driving in for that touchdown, you look at that big tree down towards the end of the
that was what I was looking
down
at.
The towards the end zone down there, and the wind has been whipping. It looks like, and has been, I think, for quite some time, at least a quarter or so. Doesn't seem to be affecting the passes of either one of the quarterbacks thus far, though.
Cal over to Sales now, 17-0. 11 minutes left in that game, and Eastern completes the pass to the right side. That should be enough for another Eastern first down. Cosma hauling in another one for the Eagles.
It's good for the first down on that.
Well, that's been the one thing Oldham County has struggled to take away in this ball game is those little quick passes. Berger catching the ball out of the shotgun, and the ball doesn't spend much time in his hands, and he's already got rid of it. For a sophomore, he's already got that part of the game down. 1st and 10 Eagles. 2 wide both ways. They'll give it to Johnson, the tailback, trying the right side. Pushes through the initial defense and then is finally brought down by the second wave down near the 21, maybe the 20-yard line.
Johnson, little work in the third quarter, just 2 carries for 4 yards.
Franklin County Anderson update. This one's starting to get out of hand. Franklin County now leading 35-14. Meanwhile, in Crestwood, South Oldham still hanging on to a 17-6 lead over Scott High. 7:27 left in the ball game. Second down. About 6 to go now for the Eagles. Berger still in the shotgun. Fakes it to his fullback. Now looks, fires over the middle, has his man. Complete. Ball stripped away. Oldham County has it. Isaiah Kelly picks up the loose ball, and Oldham County has it. The receiver held it out there. That was number 46. I don't think we called his name tonight. And he kind of was holding it out away from his body. I didn't quite catch the number of the colonel who did it, but he reached in, poked the ball away, and Kelly was there to recover.
It was Kevon Finson on the reception there, and like I said, he coughed it up. That looks like that's the third turnover for Eastern now.
Yep. Both teams have given the ball up 3 times now. Technically, again, Oldham County's given it up 4 times. They had the
Actually, I have that.
Had the downs. Yeah, who poked that away?
There's number 28 for Oldham
Mark
County.
Reynolds.
Yep.
Yeah, great play on his part. Oldham County now deep in their own territory near the 10. Harding hands off to his tailback, fighting forward and getting some decent yardage, it looks like, out of that. Let's see, is it Jarrett Baker on the carry?
And Tom, I didn't quite hear what you said. I have that as the 3rd turnover for the Eagles. 2 fumbles and an interception.
Correct. And that's
yes.
Second, third, and fourth quarters.
Baker picking up about 6. 2nd down and 4 for the Colonels there as they get it a little bit more breathing room there. Harding under center. 1 back behind him. And he'll hand it off. I believe that was Baker again. This time not a lot of running room for Jarrett as he gets the ball, and it's an introduction to that front 7 for the Eagles. So Baker not much of anything there. It'll stay 3rd down and 4. Jarrett's one of the guys on the Oldham County football team I've had the opportunity to get to know a little bit. As a lot of people know, my son runs for Oldham County cross country, and Jarrett actually dates one of the girls on the cross country team. So I'll probably see him tomorrow at Kentucky Horse Park.
Is this 7 degrees of separation here?
Yeah, and we know him because that. But he's a really nice young man. He's he's a good face for the Oldham County football team when you get to meet some of the guys like that. Harding in trouble now. Is going to tuck it under, try to see what he can make out of it. Gets it out over the 16 to about the 17, maybe a yard. But it's going to be 4th down. Oldham County's going to have to boot this one away. Actually, it's only 6 degrees, by the way.
Whatever. Tom and I looking at each other thought that one might have been a face mask on the quarterback there.
Yeah, difference here. Not very many calls in high school football with hands to the face, but he did. He cut up through the middle. It looks like the defender reached out and kind of gave him a stiff arm almost and touched it, but it didn't look like he grabbed it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the crowd here on the Oldham County side. That wind is brutal.
Would love to be on the field today, but yeah, when it's cold, that's nice to sit up in this booth with you guys.
Farrow kicks it. Flag, and I think we're going to get interference against Oldham County on the coverage there, and that's going to be unfortunate because even if Eagles take it where the ball landed, it's going to be around the 46-yard line of Oldham County, and now they're going to get a few extra yards.
Yeah, we'll see what they call here, but in high school football, you have to give him room to catch the ball. If not, then you're guilty of kick-catching interference. So we'll see what the stripes decide on this one.
Pleasure Ridge Park, another touchdown. They lead Butler 24-15 in the second half. Interference against Oldham County is indeed the call. 13-7 is your score. Clock showing 8:11 to go in this one. Eastern getting a great opportunity here. Just a moment ago, the Eagles with a fumble that they lost inside the Oldham 20.
You might hear all the fans when they get upset and yell. And, of course, I'd love to go out and say, hey, we're always looking for good officials. You know, we need people to make the right call. So they definitely didn't agree with that. So
yeah, I used to work at a Little League where we had signs to that effect. If you don't like the call, we accept your application to become an umpire.
Gladly, that's right.
Now this is a great opportunity for the Eagles now as the ball gets moved down to the Oldham County 31-yard line. 1st and 10. Big test for the Oldham County D here. Need to come up with a turn away here. As Berger retreats from the shotgun. Pumps once, hit as he throws, and it's just going to be a little long. If he doesn't get hit, that probably lands right in the hands of Cosma, and that goes in for 6. Cosma was behind the defense.
As it was, just missed him by half a step.
That was about as close as you can get and not connect.
It was a perfect swat and swim technique by Oldham County defender there to get into the quarterback. Like I said, just enough pressure where maybe he rushed that a little bit and overthrew him. So great defensive play as well.
White and Cosma go wide to the right side. It's like Justin Green and Jalen Glover wide to the left side for Eastern. Berger back to throw. In trouble. And here comes the D. Peyton and company are going to wrestle him down. Peyton flushed him out there. And it ends up Isaiah Kelly was in there. Voiles was in there. I think Voiles is going to get credit for the sack. And Oldham County with their 3rd sack of the ball game.
Tom, that's one where he has to know that pressure is coming up from behind him. He has to feel that. He has to have that clock in his head, the timing down. You got to get rid of that football. Throw it away. Throw it to the sideline. You're already out of the pocket. Just make sure it gets past the line of scrimmage and get rid of it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, credit too to the Oldham County secondary. What a defensive play to hold the receivers, to no openings for the quarterback to dish that to.
Yeah, you figure by 4 seconds an average receiver should be open, and that time they kept things clogged up longer than that. 2 wide to the right, 3 to the left. Empty backfield for Berger, who retreats. He's flushed out. Goes up underneath, gets the completion to Cosma on the sideline, and it's going to be close to the first down. Let's see, it's on the far side of the field, and the officials calling a timeout here. They may be going to measure this one.
Well, there was a player without his helmet. That's what the timeout was for, and now it does look like they may take a look at the measurement.
Yeah, it looks like the line judge has killed the clock to check out the spot there.
Who caught that pass?
Cosma.
I shouldn't really. I'm not sure. I should have asked, but
yeah, officials can call official time out here, and they're going to bring the stakes across and get a closer look at it.
Well, the ball is on the opposite side of the field from the sticks. Oldham County played pretty stout defense on this series, and they could really use to see this come up a little bit shy. Although you got to think right here, this is probably 4 down territory for Eastern. Whether this is a first down or not, as the chain gang runs across the field here.
Explain to us the measurements here.
Well, what happens is the umpire will take the stake, of course. When you see the guy run across the field, the head linesman's going to have the yard line that's furthest from the line of game, the line furthest from the first down. And he'll mark it from the back of the line. They'll take it back across the field, set it down at the back of the line. The umpire will stretch it out the opposite way. And, of course, it has to at least touch the forward part of the stake to be a first down. This one, they're marking it short, so you'll see the referee pick up the chain. It looks like maybe 1 or 2 lengths at that, and respot the ball in the middle field is what they're doing now.
Start of the fourth quarter, Bullitt Central, who came into this week undefeated at 7-0, leads Shelby County 12-10. So the Eagles fourth down now, and they need just, like you said, maybe a couple of lengths here. Berger will go up under center, it looks like, on this one. In the backfield, Johnson and Brooks. Split backfield. We used to call this the pro set. You don't hear it much anymore when you're talking about a split backfield. They'll give it to the first man through, and he's wrapped up immediately, but really just didn't need much, and he gets enough to get the first down. Barmanji was in there early to make the stop, as was Voiles, but he only needed half a foot. First down, Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern's taking quite a bit of time off the clock here to this drive.
Well, and if you're Oldham County, that missed extra point looming large right now. They really need to keep the Eagles out of the end zone, not let that extra point be the deciding factor in this ball game. Berger in the shotgun. Has the ball, low snap, fires to his left and incomplete. Threw it behind his receiver. Cosma went down, made a cut and curled, but his legs went out from under him and the ball was a little bit behind him, so it'll be second down.
Few final scores starting to come across. Lloyd Memorial 42, Pendleton County 6, Ryle 21, Campbell County 14. That one in overtime. Game over. Dixie Heights 36, Simon Kenton 10.
Second down for the Eagles. Berger from the shotgun. High snap. Bobbles it. Comes down with it. Looks to his right. Fires downfield. And caught just shy of the goal line. And where did he end up going? It's going to be shy of the touchdown. But the Eagles are going to be knocking on the door here. It'll be first and goal.
It looks like he might be down right about the 1 yard line. He stayed in bounds. So the clock will start on the ready.
6:18, clock rolling. The Eagles knocking on the door, trailing by 6, 13-7. Oldham County with a dominant third period went from a touchdown down to a touchdown up, but they missed that second extra point, and that's looming large. Berger goes under center. 2 backs behind him, gives to the first man. That's Johnson. Johnson, officials waving this all off here now. Not going to make it in for the touchdown. Defense getting low and stopping the play, and now timeout Oldham County. The defense wants to talk it over with 5:53 to play.
Well, Tom, what do you think? Right up the middle?
That's a close one. They've had success there on short yardage, but
yeah, you know something, I can't get it through my head really why. When you have inches to go, less than a yard, let's say, a yard or less, to take a snap, turn around, and hand it off 2 yards back, quarterback sneak right up the middle. He's already right there. I mean, you only have to get, assuming he takes the snap, and you need a yard, you only have to get 1.5 yards if you do that. If you turn around and hand it off, then you have to get a total of 3 yards. So you're basically doubling what you need by turning around and handing it off to another back.
Scott, I agree with you there. Even to turn around and hand it off, you would get that back right up behind the quarterback. So it was just as soon as he takes the snap, he just barely turns to the side. Yep. You're still 2 yards closer. I've never understood that either. So
now the Eagles come out. It's like Johnson is going to be the lone setback, standing about 3 yards behind. Berger low under his center. Back to throw, stumbles, and is buried under a wave of Oldham County players. Well, Eastern looked to surprise that time maybe, and McIntosh, Voiles, and looked like it might have also been Zach Payton in there. And Eastern in full reverse now. The ball back around the 6-yard line.
Sometimes as an offensive coordinator, you can outthink yourself, and I think that was one of those instances.
Well, they had it looked like number 4 for Eastern, Jalen Glover, was wide open in the end zone, right in the middle of the play, and the quarterback didn't have time. That bull rush by number 74 from Oldham County right up the middle, and just shoved the center right back into the quarterback, causing havoc. So.
3rd down and goal, ball at the 6 of Oldham County. Berger bobbles the snap, throws over the head of his receiver in the end zone. Now, they had the man wide open. That was Cosma in the corner, but Cosma hadn't really made his turn yet. And a bad throw about 5 feet over his head and behind him. And all of a sudden, guys, what was 1st and goal at about the 1 is now looking at 4th and goal at the 6.
Should be 3rd and goal, Mike.
They've run 3 plays.
I think that one was actually, I think the one was called a timeout because he blew it right when the snap went off. I wonder if they were calling that a timeout.
They may have, Tom. That may have been that first handoff with Johnson. I think you're right.
I think he tried to kill it right as the handoff went off.
And now Eastern's going to call a timeout, so it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 6. Eastern with the timeout. Exactly 5 minutes left on the clock.
Scott, I'm just puzzled. We're looking at each other in disbelief. Like you said, you're 1st and goal from the 1, and you try 2 pass plays up the middle. Well, one up the middle, one to the outside. And, of course, the one was a sack and then throws it way wide of the receiver.
Maybe the Boise State offensive coordinator is making the calls. So I think Statue of Liberty's next, guys.
There you go.
I think, but you make a serious, joking aside, I think you do sometimes have a tendency as an offensive or defensive coordinator to outthink yourself. You're trying very hard to stay a step or 2 ahead of the other guy across the field, and sometimes you can get just a few too many steps ahead and make it just unnecessarily hard on yourself.
Yep, I agree.
I think, let's face it, Bobby Petrino, U of L, making some of the same comments after this game last week down at Clemson.
Yep.
He had he had a reason for spiking that ball with about 30 seconds left, but in retrospect, it ends up looking like a really bad call.
And then just step up and take the responsibility. Hey, if it works, I'm a hero. If not, I made a bad move. So
yeah. Berger goes into the shotgun. Eastern comes out, 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Man in motion. They give it to the receiver on the end around, and Oldham County just snuffs it out. In there, Brian Barmanji comes in there and makes the open field tackle. And, it wasn't the Statue of Liberty, but it was kind of close.
It's Connor White. You're right. He was out of the far right side as receiver and came basically like a wide receiver or end around. And Oldham County, they didn't fool him at all. Nice stop.
They brought White in on the little jet action, and now all of a sudden Eastern is going to take another timeout here with 4:35 to play.
Well, you almost have to at this point. I mean, it's really – I think it comes down to this play for them. It's 4th down. They're not going to get another opportunity this close. The field goal does you no good at this point, especially with the missed extra point by Oldham County, because now all of a sudden if you can get it into the end zone, all you have to do is score that extra point. So,
well, there's 4:35 left, so there might be enough time for the Eagles. The problem is now they've used 2 timeouts.
Well,
and they can't control so much of the time as they used to be able to.
Well, I don't even think there's enough time, and I say that simply because if you look at this drive and how long it's taking, this has been a long drive. They have not shown yet tonight that they are a quick strike offense that can go 2 plays and get within field goal range again.
Well, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
On that last play there, Barmanji for Oldham County, he's the one that snuffed that out. What a defensive play to stay home and take that away from the Eagles.
Yeah, and that was a linebacker taking down a wide receiver in the open field.
Yep.
pretty sweet defensive play. And Oldham County needs one more here now. The ball just inside the 5. 4th down for the Eagles. Berger in the shotgun. He's got Johnson to his left. Back to throw. Looks, flushed out of the pocket, throws, and it's nearly picked off by Oldham County. Great play by Carson Axtell, and the Colonels turn away the Eagles.
Axtell is able to bring that one in. He's going 99 yards to the house.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, the receiver was over there waving his hands like, throw it to me, and he wasn't fooled at all. He's ready for the pick and go.
But that's one of the reasons they tell you don't throw all the way across the field. I mean, he was on this side of the hash marks as he was rolling out this way a little bit, looks back to his right. He was all the way to the right sideline was the receiver when he called for the football. Just typically at this level, you're not going to find anybody with enough arm strength that can make that throw in time from a hash mark to the corner.
It looks like Oldham's going to take a timeout here to talk it over.
Well, one thing about this, guys, if there's a silver lining for the Eagles right now, it's that Oldham County's going to start this drive at around their own 5-yard line. So Oldham County, it's important for the Colonels to understand there's still 4:30 left in this ball game, and whether they score another point or not is not the important thing. They've got to string together some first downs.
So it's going to be about clock control. You're right. Even if they don't get a first down, you've got to use as much clock as you possibly can in this situation. And then you have to be careful about what you do after that. I mean, obviously a block punt or anything at this point would be a terrible situation for the Colonels.
Eastern has not blocked a punt this season, but right now Oldham County just doesn't want to give them the chance. The Colonels, if the Eagles don't call that remaining timeout, Oldham County can eliminate about 2 minutes off the scoreboard, even if they don't get a first down. But what they would like nothing better than to do is to get a few first downs and get that ball out there. Parker Hennings is the tailback for OC now. He'll get the call. Running left. And Eastern is going to bottle it up pretty good here. Not much of anything there. I'm not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
No, they've got him marked at about the 2. So now all of a sudden you've got to be careful about a safety. Because they know that they want to run the clock. So Eastern's going to put everybody they have up in the box.
And you don't want to make it too easy to read, but the offense that time, nobody spread out wide for the Colonels. Everybody in the backfield trying to give protection. And like I said, just trying to get a few yards up the middle to get some working room from the end zone.
They're only going to mark him with a loss of 1, but it's going to be 2nd down 11 now. The ball somewhere around the 3.5 yard line. Clock rolling, 3:45 to play. Harding goes under center. And he gives it to the first man through, and I'm trying to see who that is. It was Hennings again. And he might have got it back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's going to be about it. An Oldham County player. Looks like Brian Barmanji, who is slow getting up. And Oldham County training crew is going to have to come out and look. He's kind of holding that right ankle a little bit. That'll stop the clock with 3:25 to play. Well, tough situation for OC now as Barmanji does get up and he's walking off under his own power. But Oldham County now needs to come away with this first down here. The clock got stopped because of the injury, so they're not benefiting from the clock running like they would. A first down here would be huge. Otherwise, you're going to give it up to the Eagles in awfully good field position.
I would almost think about taking the safety on purpose.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Then you kick off from the 20 and push the Eagles further back.
It still doesn't get a field goal. Still would not beat them, right?
Right.
Because they would still be ahead by 4.
Still be ahead by 4.
Yeah. Out, right?
Yeah.
and your field position obviously would be much better.
Handoff, running right, and Hennings is going to get out to about the 9-yard line. Got some yardage this time, but not nearly enough for the first down. And the clock will roll. 2:50 to play in the ball game. 13-7. Oldham County's going to have to punt this one away though, on 4th down.
Mike, I'm telling you, I would hand it to a running back, have him run around for a couple of seconds, and run out the back of the end zone.
Waste some time, get the safety in there. He said Eastern would still be down by 4, And then with a kickoff, a good kickoff will put Eagles in terrible position for their drive.
Let's see what happens here. Oldham County, Alan Farrell standing back in his own end zone. 2:20 remaining in the ball game.
In fact, I would take a delay of game here just to run as much time off as possible.
Well, the coach is, he's thinking time to snap it now.
They get the ball. He's going to boot it away. Not a great kick, fielded at the 36. Slips a tackle, and down at the 31-yard line, Eastern down by 6 will have the ball with 2:03 to play, and Allen just did not get a great leg into that one. And Eastern will have good field position. They have one timeout, trailing by 6, and 2:03 on the scoreboard. Well, they'll mark it at the 32.
Well, obviously trusting their defense to keep them out of the end zone.
Well, the defense has done a great job tonight.
They have.
Eastern has not scored a point with their offense here tonight. They missed a field goal. They've had 3 turnovers. Berger in the shotgun. 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Looking left for Cosma. Has the ball. Incomplete. Or was it loose? They're going to call it incomplete, and that will be a big break for Oldham County because the ball was recovered by Eastern and advanced another 5 or 6 yards. The ball popped free there. Eastern was very alert and jumped on it. I didn't see the number of the guy who caught it. But Cosma unable to make the initial reception. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, Berger right on the money with the pass, though. Hit him right in the numbers. That's one that you hope your wide receiver catches and gets down.
Eagles 3 wide to the right, including Green and White. Cosma goes wide to the left side. Johnson is the lone setback. Berger screens it to White and throws it over his head. I don't think he was going anywhere. Justin Vire right over there in his grill, and if he catches that ball, Vire was going to blow him up right there.
All of a sudden, 4 incompletions in a row for Berger. That's the most he's had consecutively tonight.
You know, James Harding, second half, big, strong-armed quarterback for the Colonels. He's thrown 2 passes here in the second half. Both have gone for touchdowns. Oldham County, third quarter there, which they dominated, did most of their damage on the ground. And that's got to make the Oldham coaches smile.
I think the Oldham County's coach saw exactly that. Let's go with our strength, and that's what they've done.
2 wide both ways. White and Cosma to the left side. Berger on 3rd and 10. 1:53. Clock is stopped, and Eastern will take their 3rd and final timeout. Berger didn't like something that he saw out there, and not really sure what it was he saw, but he saw something about that defense he didn't like. Want to remind everybody, Pegasus Sports Network is brought to you in part by Delco Land Management Inc. in Crestwood. Give them a call today, 445-3100. Complete programmed lawn care. And what that means is lawn care by folks who've been in the business for over 15 years. People who are a member of the Kentucky Lawn Maintenance Association and certified by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture Division of Pesticide. Folks who can help you whether you're a commercial business owner or a landowner who needs your yard to look good. And they can show you everything they're going to do on the computer beforehand, show you a nice computerized complete design, and give you a nice professional consultation. And of course, if it's not the summer, they can help you out in the winter too. Pre-treatment of snow and ice, snow plowing, snow stacking, ice control, all they can do it. That's Delco Land Management. Give them a call, 445-3100. That's 445-3100. .153 on the clock. 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. Berger sends White in motion from left to right, overloading that right side. That's the wide side of the field. Looks that way, now goes over the middle and throws in between everyone. No good. 4th down. Well, Berger had plenty of time that time, guys, to see the field. Oldham County just did a good job of covering the receivers. Simple as that.
Looks like Berger's kind of lost his mojo, so to speak, with throwing the ball there. A couple passes over top of the receiver. White last time over his head, a little short receiver. Time before that, thrown out wide behind him. So same thing here, over top of the receiver, downfield.
Well, I got to hit his man this time, 4th and 10.
Oh, yeah, big play.
Glover wide to the right side with Green. It's White and Cosma to the left. Again, White in motion from left to right. Berger has the ball, retreats, fires, and hit and incomplete. The ball knocked away as Oldham County. Carson Axtell arrived right about the time the football did. And on fourth down, the Eagles turn it over to Oldham County. The Colonels take over with 1:43 left. And the Eagles with no timeouts left.
I'm going to take a look on this replay and see. It looks like, live version, I thought it looked like he was a little bit early when he hit the receiver. Tom shaking his head yes, so obviously there's something there.
Oldham County will have the ball 1st and 10.
Yeah, I can't tell from this angle.
That was pretty close.
They should be able to just take a knee from here out, right? No timeouts.
No timeouts. Harding should be able to go into the victory formation, and he does, and he'll take a knee. And, Eastern really blasted through the middle of that line there on a victory formation play. But, you got to play it to the end there.
That's exactly right. There's one thing as official we tell them, offensive line, you still have to protect your players.
Remnants of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, I did not have a problem with that at all. If you're going to teach your kids to never quit, you got to teach them to play to the final horn.
Right, and they're trying to fire in there and cause a fumble. That's their only purpose right here.
Right. Oldham's got to take care of the ball, take care of your QB. Harding, long count, 1 minute exactly. Takes another knee. Clock goes under 57 seconds now. Colonels are going to win this one. They're going to win their 2nd game of the season. They will even their district mark at 1-1 with a home game next week against Ballard. Colonels actually still in the running for the district championship, guys. If Ballard could beat Fern Creek and Oldham could beat Ballard, it'd take a few upsets. But Oldham County not out of the running, and now the ball pops loose, but the play had already been whistled dead. Again, Eastern very aggressive coming through. 14 seconds. Oldham County crowd not happy with it, but the Colonels will not run another play. James Harding and the Colonels celebrating on the sideline as the last 5 seconds run off the clock. Oldham County with a big 3rd quarter and a defense that did not allow a point. Eastern getting their only points on a fumble return, and Oldham County wins this one 13-7. And we'll take a break. We'll be back to Eastern High School in Middletown, Kentucky. Oldham County football is on the Pegasus Sports Network. We'll be right back.
A proud sponsor of the Pegasus Sports Network is Mountjoy Chilton Medley Certified Public Accountants, the largest locally based accounting firm in Kentucky and southern Indiana, offering a full range of accounting, audit, tax planning, and advisory services for businesses and individuals. Employing nearly 120 CPAs, Mountjoy Chilton Medley provides highly specialized services that can help you achieve your personal and business goals. For a complete list of services and more, on the web at mcpa.com. Mountjoy Chilton and Medley, 502-749-1900.
A wise man once said, "The secret to happiness is comfortable shoes." Well, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing. I'm a happy man when my feet are feeling good. And that's the idea behind Happy Feet, the world's most comfortable slippers. It's like walking on pillows. Owned and operated right here in Kentucky, Happy Feet has the coolest, the warmest, the most comfortable slippers around. College basketball fans will love the UK and U of L slippers. They look just like sneakers. Animal lovers will adore Animal Feet, a line of cushy slippers that look like every animal you can think of. There's even a dinosaur for the kids. Check them all out now at www.buyhappyfeet.com. That's www.buyhappyfeet.com, and give the gift of Happy Feet. Happy Feet. It's like walking on pillows.
I used to be pro-choice, and then something happened to me. I had a baby of my own. When I was pregnant, I finally realized that all this little kid was trying to do was make it, just like all of us. So I haven't figured it all out yet, but why, when I wanted the baby, it was a baby, and when I didn't, it was something else. Think about it.
A message from Right to Life at KRLA.org.
At OfficeMax, your success is our business. Whether you're looking for a printer, office furniture, software, laptops, or simple office supplies, OfficeMax has it all in one convenient location at prices you can afford. Check out the OfficeMax Impress Business Center, where no job is too small or too large. They can help you with simple laminating or business cards, or help you put together that award-winning business presentation with their digital color printing, copying, and binding services. That's OfficeMax. Open till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, till 6 p.m. on Sundays. OfficeMax. Work with us.
You give 110%. Baptist Health Sports Medicine's group of physical therapists, athletic trainers, a neurologist who specializes in concussion management, and sports medicine trained physicians go just as hard to get you back in the game you love. Our facility at Baptist Health East Point features private treatment rooms, a physical therapy gym, indoor turf field, and other indoor sports training facilities. No matter what your level or your game, to get back to your best, consult the best. Call 253-6689 or visit BaptistSportsMedKY.com.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. And remember, don't drink and drive. It's just not worth it.
But you can do something in between. Baby, you can drive my car.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Everybody loves high school sports. Want to get back in the game? Want to be part of the action? Want to be the go-to person, the voice of authority?
I'd love to, but I graduated in 1996.
Hey, you're never too old to be a high school sports official. Officiating is a great way to get in the game, stay in excellent physical condition, and make a few extra bucks. And it's a whole lot of fun, too.
Did somebody say make a few extra bucks?
To learn more about becoming a high school official in your community, call the Kentucky High School Athletic Association at 859-299-5472. That's 859-299-5472. Or learn more online at khsaa.org. Think of it as your first official call. You'll be glad you made it. This message brought to you by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the generosity of this station.
Back at Eastern High School in Middletown, Kentucky. Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the Oldham County Colonels, and it was a good one here tonight. Oldham County, which had lost 9 of their last 12 games to Eastern, including their last 6, coming away with a win tonight on the Eagles' home turf. Final score 13-7. A defensive struggle, not exactly what I expected, but certainly a close game, which I think we all kind of thought it might be. 13-7, your final score. Hats off to the Oldham County defense, a unit that has struggled a bit this year, but played a tremendous ball game tonight. 3 takeaways from the Eagles, and they end up pitching a shutout. Yes, Oldham's allowed 7 points, but that was actually allowed by the offense on a fumble recovery that Eastern returned for 31 yards. But the Eagles' offense, guys, never could quite get it going, and when they had the one golden opportunity on the Oldham 1-yard line, honestly, it was as if the Eagles kind of outguessed themselves.
Well, Mike, so the best thing about our pregame show is that our listeners obviously and viewers obviously see that we have no idea what we're talking about, and they get to watch the rest of the game and see right the opposite of what we predict. We thought this was going to be an offensive shootout, and like you just explained, it's going to be, it was a defensive shutout the entire game. For the Oldham County defense, it was a defensive shutout altogether, allowing no points on the board, and the offense coming through just enough to get the win for the Colonels.
Yeah, and the defense really stepped it up tonight. This is a squad that, Oldham County's D has struggled a bit this year. In fact, coming into tonight's ball game, the fewest points that the Colonels had allowed was last week when Fern Creek only scored 27. But tonight, the defense really stood up for this game for Oldham County. Some nice plays. Isaiah Kelly with the big fumble recovery there in the fourth period. Justin Vire, the deflection and the interception in the third. And the offense, sometimes I think when we give credit to one side of the ball, we take away too much credit from the other side. The Oldham County offense didn't do a lot tonight, but when they got the opportunity there in the third quarter, they made the most of it. James Harding, 2 touchdown passes, some timely running by Spencer Johnson and Parker Hennings, and the Colonels with back-to-back touchdowns to win the game.
Yeah, Harding stepped up with that arm of his. Like he said, 2 quick touchdowns, and that was the difference of the game. Even after the mistakes by both teams defensively, both teams stepped up, but it was who capitalized on those mistakes tonight that won the ball game.
And we thought that may not happen after the first half, but the only there in the first half we had 4 turnovers in the second quarter alone, and the only team able to take advantage of that was Eastern on that fumble recovery with under a minute remaining before halftime. So it looked like no one was going to be able to take advantage of those mistakes. But finally, from that point on, and then some, of course, adjustments at halftime by the Oldham County coaching staff, able to get into the end zone and pick up the win.
We're going to get Mike Schatzer up here. Don't always get the coach up here on road games, but we'll get him on here. And Tom, thank you for passing on your headset. We're glad to have you tonight.
Well, I appreciate the chance out here. I had fun with you guys, so we'll turn it over to you and Coach.
Get Mike on the headset here. Coach, the last time you got the W this year, it was all about the arms of James Harding in this offense and how many points could you score. Tonight you had to turn to your defense again and again and ask them to lift you up, and what an effort by the OCD.
Well, you can't say enough. They played their hearts out last week, but we just couldn't do anything offensively. So, we challenged them to lead us again this week, and, they played lights out, and they didn't give up a point tonight. That touchdown they got was on a turnover, but they came up with a couple big 4th down stops, especially in the second half, and led by Brian Barmanji and Alex McIntosh and Justin Vire, and we think our strength of our defense is our linebackers, and they just played their hearts out tonight.
It says a lot. We were looking at the size differential on the lines. And we're looking at their guys, and we're looking at your guys on the defensive line, and then we're thinking, oh my, we're going to send 3 defensive linemen against those mammoths, and you called it right there. The linebackers, those 3 guys down front occupied the line enough, and the gaps got filled by the linebackers. There just wasn't a whole lot of running room for Eastern tonight when they tried to run the ball.
Well, we knew that their biggest weapon was number 3, and he's a great athlete, but we knew they were going to try to run the ball out of the wing tee, but they're not traditional when they run the wing tee, so we just put a game plan in that we're going to use our linebackers to our ability and go with a 3-man front, and just pay dividends. Our kids played their tails off, and that's all you can ask. I mean, when you put them in a position to win and they succeed, it just makes you feel great.
At the halftime you're down 7-0, and you kind of couldn't escape the feeling that you had the better team on the field, but yet you looked at the scoreboard and you're down by a touchdown. What did you tell your kids at the half?
Well, we told them we're in a dogfight, and we've said all year we've got to establish a running game. So we went to the I formation, which we haven't run probably since about week 3, and they haven't seen it. And we did enough moving the ball that it opened up for the play action pass, and James hit Alan Farrell on that first touchdown. It was a great throw, great catch, and then they just made a slight adjustment on that second touchdown, and he made a college type catch in the end zone. And I hope the fans at home got to see that on Pegasus Sports, because it was a phenomenal catch. But, our kids just didn't quit. And, we've been down a lot this year, but, we've had a little meeting this week as a team and talked, and we told our kids that we're not giving up on you, don't give up on us. And it showed tonight, and it sets up a big win for us. It's the first district win that OC's had in probably about 3 years. It sets up a big game next week at home versus Ballard. And, Ballard right now is 2-0 in the region, and we're 1-1, so – we take care of business at home on Friday night. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, that sets us up for a district playoff game at home.
Yeah, you're really right here, Coach. And we talked about this late in the ball game that you win this game tonight, and you're going to go in as an underdog next week against Ballard. But if you take care of business at home against them, all of a sudden, not only are you looking at a home playoff game, but you still have a shot at the district title.
Yes, and if it comes down to a tie, a lot depends on what other people have to do, but we can't worry about Fern Creek and now Eastern. We got to worry about us against Ballard next week. Mike Jackson does a great job. They'll be well coached. They'll be good athletes. Mirror image of what we saw tonight. So I think that we have a good plan in place, and if our kids, next week's a big week of distractions. It's fall break. I think all our kids will be there on Monday. We have a JV game on Monday. We have we're off week. All week, so we just got to get our kids in the right frame of mind, and I think this little win right here is a big shot in the arm for our kids, and that goes a long way for our kids at OC.
Going back to what you did there early in the second half, Mike, you went to the running game. You got some big runs. Spencer Johnson gave you just a huge boost with that run over the left side to set you up for that first touchdown. By my stats, I only have you throwing the ball twice the whole second half, but both of them go for touchdowns and two of the prettiest timing routes that Harding and Farrow have connected on this year.
Well, if that's what it takes for us to win, Spencer's been begging to run the football, and we just, finally gave him an opportunity. And one time he put himself in, and I had to run him off. But we put him at fullback because Jacob Yeo got a little banged up there at the end of the first half, and he was shaking off a little bit of a tweak on his knee. So we put Spencer at fullback, and he's worked there this year. And he busted that trap over the middle for a big gain, and that put us in scoring position. And we didn't want to settle for a field goal. We wanted to get a touchdown down there, and we did, and able to tie the game 7-7. And we had a momentum, and they turned the ball over a lot tonight. We capitalized on that turnover. That good pass over the middle. Our Isaiah Kelly picked up the fumble, and it put us in position to score again. So we had the wind at our back in the third quarter, but we had the wind in our face in the fourth. So when we punted a few times, they got good field position, but our defense just played lights out.
Gotta give the props to the D on that one great stand there late in the ball game. Eastern has the ball at the 1 yard line, and the defense had to come up tall.
Well, we put Jacob Brown in at nose guard. He hadn't played defense all night. We moved him to tackle for the offense, and we made a change there at nose, and we called a little stun inside, and he just rooted right through there and blew it up in the backfield and put him at second and goal from about the 6 and gave us some room to work. And we knew they were going to go to number 3. And we try to take him out of his game. And he's a great receiver, and our quarterback's a nice quarterback as well. But our kids just stiffened up, and we had a couple fourth down stands tonight that was huge for us.
Yeah, and a great play in open field, I thought, by Brian Barmanji on that next play right after it was on the second down play there from the 6 on the end around, and they put it in the hands of number 3, and you had a linebacker run down a wide receiver.
Well, our kids watch a lot of film with us, and we make them watch film, and they're finally starting to see that film study pays off. We knew what they were going to do. They had some tendencies that when they go in motion, they're going to either run the jet sweep or try to run that bubble screen. And they got us early on that bubble screen, but the second time they ran that jet sweep, and Brian just sniffed it out. He's the leader of our defense, bar none. There's no question about what he can do. And with him on the field, we're a different defense. So when we saw him roll his ankle on offense, I got a little nervous, but he shook it off. And he might be a little sore in the morning, but I guarantee on Monday at 3:30 he'll be at the field house ready to rock and roll.
And Monday he'll be talking to his friends at school too.
Well, no, we're out of school.
That's right, you're out of school this week, aren't you?
We're out of school this week, unfortunately, but our kids, if we can get a big win at home for senior night, and our seniors deserve that. I mean, they've been kind of down in their luck the last 4 years, so if we can finish off with reel off a couple wins here going to the playoffs on a positive note, once the playoff starts, it's one and done. Mm-hmm. So we're excited. We're getting some kids back health-wise. We were able to put together a good offensive line. Our defense played lights out. So, we're not going to change too much this week. We're just going to try to coach our kids up and just keep trying to be positive.
Well, you got to love the way your team came off the field after the final snap, Coach.
Well, they were excited, and they were a little disappointed on their sideline, and they kind of took a little late shot at our quarterback on the kneel down, but it is what it is. I mean, our kids, they didn't respond back. Some kids could throw a punch and get ejected, but our kids, they're class. They're class all the way, and I'd like to think it starts at the top down, but we just have good kids at Oldham County High School, and I'm proud to be there.
All right, Mike Schatzer, congrats, man.
Thank you,
Get
Mike.
the big win here tonight over Eastern, and along the losing streak here at Eastern.
Yes.
Six straight losses tonight comes to an end.
And the first district win in 3 years for OC. So, we're feeling good about ourselves right now, but, I told the kids enjoy the win tonight, but it's back to work on Monday. So, we just got to stay safe and stay healthy, and, I hope to see you guys on Friday night at Oldham County High School.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Ballard and Oldham County this coming Friday.
Thank you, Mike.
Schatzer,
I appreciate
congratulations.
it. Thank you, sir.
And Mike, and appreciate him coming up here. We don't usually get to talk to the coach in away games. We appreciate it. Thank you. Field the stands are pretty empty here. We'll get our cameraman on the headset here. Let him actually talk a little bit. We don't normally let Kevin talk, but Kevin, I'll say it right now. You and I were off on this one. We had the right winner, but we sure were a little off on the points.
Well, I mean, you know what happened to Oldham County's last win. They put up 55, 57, something like that. And then today, like you've already talked about probably 100 times tonight, defense won tonight. And I definitely got some of that with the camera thing. And Coach said earlier about getting that nice college level touchdown catch on the camera. And I looked at Scott and I was like, yeah, I got that on camera.
Well, you did, and Scott, it was interesting because Oldham County really totally turned around and changed what they were doing there in the second half, and it worked. We talk about adjustments. You talked about which coach makes the better adjustments. I think tonight, Oldham County made the better adjustments at the half.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. They came out in the second half trying to establish the run, and really the run is what set up those 2 touchdown passes.
Sure.
At least the first one was on a play action fake after several runs. In fact, it was on a third down play action fake after runs on the first 2 downs and really all the way down the field. So good job setting that up by the coaching staff, making those adjustments and putting that in the heads of the Eagles, that they have to come out, they have to stop the run, and then all of a sudden put it up in the air to your best receiver.
Well, Oldham County didn't get a lot of yards running, only 71 yards running the ball, the fewest yards rushing that Eastern has allowed this year. But Parker Hennings with 43 yards and Spencer Johnson with 33 yards, and that provided enough to take the pressure off of Harding. And like we said, Harding only threw the ball twice in the second half for 18 yards and for 14 yards, but both of those went for touchdowns to Alan Farrow. And Kevin, I know you're a big fan of wide receivers everywhere. Those were 2 of the prettiest timing touchdowns. I'll say it again. I said it a minute ago. 2 of the prettiest timing plays I've seen this year.
Oh, absolutely. That first touchdown on that play action fake over here in the corner, Harding released the ball right as who was it they called?
Alan Farrow.
Alan Farrow. He released the ball right as Farrow turned, and that's just perfect timing because that defender doesn't have time to react because the ball's already in the air, and Alan turned around, caught it right there on the sideline. It was beautiful. And
then the other catch, which Coach referred to as a Division I catch. That was a pretty accurate description, Scott. Yeah. Over the shoulder, didn't turn until the last second.
Well, that goes back to both players. I mean, the pass was right on the money. In fact, both of those passes, he put it to where only Farrell was going to make the catch. There was nobody else going to get a hand on that football. But the second catch, Farrell, actually, he was cutting towards the middle of the field, looking over his right shoulder. The pass goes to the back corner, so he quickly turns to his left, looks around, and the ball right on the fingertip. So he actually had to go from his right shoulder to his left shoulder, which is very difficult to do. But the timing was perfect. Excellent catch by Farrell. Great pass, of course, by Harding.
And Harding finishes the game 9 of 16 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 118 yards. The Colonels with only 189 yards of total offense, but that was enough to win the ball game. Alan Farrow, 6 catches, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey Tucker had the other 3 receptions, 3 catches for 34 yards. The Colonels for the game, 71 yards rushing, 118 passing for 189 total yards. Both teams coughed up the ball 3 times, and both teams gave it up on downs once. So 4 turnovers for both teams. Eastern was slightly more on the first downs, 9-8 over Oldham County, but the Colonels had 3 sacks in the ball game to only 1 for Eastern. Eastern got on the board first, 58 seconds left in that first half. Bonner, a 31-yard fumble recovery, and the Eagles on top 7-0 at the break. But the Colonels, with 2 touchdown passes from Harding to Farrow in the third period, take the lead 13-7. They missed the second extra point, and that could have cost them. But in the end, the defense rules the day, shutting out the Eagles the rest of the way, and Oldham County wins it by that final 13-7 score. Scott, you want to take a look at the Eagles stats?
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at the stats. Only 167 total yards tonight for the Eagles. Only 24 as a team rushing, but again, a big number of that was sack yardage. In fact, minus 32 for Berger on sacks tonight. Johnson leading the way with 41 yards, and then after that, nobody able to break double digits. Berger was 13 of 30 passing. Of course, the biggest chunk of that coming in the fourth quarter, where he threw 7 straight incomplete passes. So 13 of 30 for 143 yards, leading receiving, as you might expect, by Cosma. You heard Coach talking about him and what a great player he is. He ends up with 100 yards on the dot for the night.
And all the pretty pictures tonight, Kevin Montgomery, our cameraman, thank you so much. As always, an excellent job. 13-7, Oldham County wins it. The Colonels back home next Friday night as they will be playing against the Ballard Bruins. That'll wrap up things here from Eastern High School in Middletown, Kentucky. For Scott Jaggers, Tom Hoffman, and Kevin Montgomery, I'm Mike Montgomery. Good night from Pegasus Sports Network. Tonight's Pegasus Sports Network coverage of the Oldham County Colonels has been brought to you by Mountjoy, Chilton & Medley, the largest locally owned CPA firm in north central Kentucky. By www.buyhappyfeet.com. Happy Feet, it's like walking on pillows. By Baptist Health LaGrange, bringing quality health care close to you. By Office Max and your local Office Max Impress Business Center. At Office Max, your success is our business. And by Delco Land Management Inc. in Crestwood. Give them a call at 445-3100. That's Delco. Tune in next time for more live coverage of the Colonels on Pegasus Sports Network.